three-game series. Florida Tech will try and salvage this one as Trenton Anderson is taking to the hill. And let's take a look at the lineup under 25th-year manager Joe Urso. It's going to be pretty much the same lineup as usual. Maybe a few players are batting in the different position. But leading things off will be the left fielder, Jordan Williams. Batting second will be the shortstop, Nico Saladino. Hitting third, playing first base is J.D. Urso. So our first look at Urso playing first base rather than third. Batting the fourth position, the second baseman is Brandon Woodburn. Hitting fifth, the designated hitter, Edgardo Villegas. So Villegas gets the day off from the field as he played right field in the last game. And he's the DH batting fifth. Batting sixth will be the right fielder. That's Mike Valdez. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Kevin Carstetter. Carstetter played last night, did not play in the first game. Hitting eighth will be the catcher, Santiago Garavito. And batting ninth will be the center fielder, Maddox King. Trenton Anderson's opposition on the mound will be Jake Stipp. We'll talk more about him in the bottom of the first inning. So here we go with game number 2. And leading things off will be Jordan Williams. And the first pitch is outside for a ball as he showed bunt, through the back ball once. So we're underway at 4:46 Eastern time. Do you have that box? Yeah. So it's ball one on Jordan Williams, who went 0 for 3, a run scored, and 2 walks in game number 1. The pitch missing for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So I miscounted on the steals. Woodburn had 3, Williams had 2, King had 2. So they had, I believe, 9. Pitch in for a called strike. Let me just double check again. Yeah, it looks like Tampa had 9 steals in that first game. I think I gave him an extra base. I didn't mean to. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count on Jordan Williams. Pitch by Anderson is low and inside. That'll run the count 2-3-1. So Jordan Williams only has 1 hit in the series. That was last night. Did not have a hit in the first game today. And yet, he's got 2 stolen bases. And he gets on base here, and it's ball 4, and he's on base again. So he's utilizing the walk to his advantage. Some grumbling by the Panther crowd, and I mean they're frustrated just as we all are, but you know that's the way it goes. Here's Nico Saladino, the shortstop, and again you got to keep an eye on Williams. He's got that huge lead again. Figueroa holding him on. He faked it. I'll tell you, Fimiano, he's back catching. Guzman pitched caught the first game. Fimiano catching this one, so he has to be on the alert here. So at the stretch is Anderson. And pickoff attempt, and the runner gets back again. Williams did get picked off last night by Pino. So Williams is 58 out of 64. Again, he is the all-time leader in most steals in a season for Tampa. That was at 52 when he broke the record. Pitch hit for a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Our umpires have flip-flopped like last night. Casey Sanchez, the home plate umpire, and Randy Olhausen is on the bases. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Anderson delivering it to Saladino. But first, another pickoff attempt, and the runner gets back. So 123 steals as a team Tampa has. There goes another one. Throw to second will not be in time, so another stolen base for Williams, his 3rd of the day. So now 59 out of 65 for Jordan Williams. He's on second base with nobody out. It'll be a 1-2 count on Nico Saladino. And the pitch is outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Trenton Anderson, 6'3", 190, graduate student out of Orange City, went to Trinity Christian Academy. Has a fastball, a curveball, a slider, a changeup, and a cutter. So a 5-pitch repertoire for Mr. Anderson. It'll be a 2-2 count. Oh, no, the pitch count's going to run out. With 2 seconds, he got it off, and he just missed. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, the Panther crowd is just aghast at some of the umpiring calls. 3-2 the count. Yeah, wake up, boy. Maybe we should all go and try it. 3-2 the count. A lot of umpires in the stands. The 3-2. Oh, there was a lollipop throw to second. Anderson following through on it. Wiggins taking the throw. And Williams still at second base. Well, again, he stole second and he stole third in game 1. So, again, with the left-handed batter up, Fabiano's got the clear view to third. There's a high pop-up, third base side. This one is going to go out of play, and it will. And it's a 3-2 count. Oh, thank you. Just got delivered some cupcakes, the miniature kind, which I might be able to eat in between innings. All right, 3-2 the count. Very much appreciated. Had a great sandwich. Might have been Jersey Mike's. I don't know. 3-2 the count. So long at bat here. Anderson delivering it to Saladino. Checking the runner at second. And a changeup is in for a call. Strike 3. And Saladino thought he might have had the walk, but instead, Casey Sanchez, the on-plate umpire, ringing him up. So first strikeout for Anderson. And that'll bring up J.D. Urso, who, again, played third base in the first 2 games of the series, but is playing first base in this game. Urso 0 for 5 and a run scored in game number 1. Anderson checking the runner at second. Pitches outside and low for a ball. It's ball 1. Overall, though, Urso coming into today batting .350, leading the team in very many categories, about 7 of them. Second on the team in runs scored, 41. Second on the team in hits with 48. Again, that was coming into today. Ball 1 pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to third is what? In time. A little bit of hesitation. And let's see. Does Joe Urso want to take a look at this? Or does he just want the umpires to confer? I guess he'll just go with that for now. Oh, we're going with the headset. Gee. My, oh, my. So we'll go to the headset again. I think this is about the 3rd time in this series. I thought they might have gotten him, but it was one of those typical bang-bang plays. You just, I don't have the greatest angle in the world. So, again, Williams trying to steal third. He just stole second. And we'll see if this is upheld or whether it's overturned. Inquiring minds want to know. So, again, top of the first inning. Again, Tampa won the game last night 8-4. They won the first game today 9-2. Each team had 10 hits in game number 1. Again, Tampa scored very early, and they scored very late. 4 in the first, 3 in the ninth. Florida Tech just 2 in the third, and that was it. Again, Tampa now leads the all-time series 132-34. And Tampa's won 14 in a row against the Panthers going back about 5 years. So we are awaiting the decision there. Again, replay in Division II baseball, but not in Division II softball. Not yet. Maybe that's coming. Maybe it'll be next year. We'll see. Again, you got to get the personnel out here. You got to get the technology out here. So there are logistics that you have to figure out. Well, again, Tampa's now won 10 in a row. They had a 10-game winning streak earlier this season. I don't know how many teams have 2 separate 10-game winning streaks in a season. Well, they've managed to do it. So Tampa now 34-6 on the year and 18-2 in the SSC. Florida Tech with that loss in game 1, 23-21. And 13-13 in the conference. Again, for Florida Tech, only one Sunshine State Conference series left. They go to Miami Shores to play Barry next weekend. Before that, though, they will have a Tuesday game, a regional game against Palm Beach Atlantic. What do we got? He is out. He is out. So that one was upheld, and Williams is out. So Williams gets thrown out for only the 7th time this year. Again, he was successful stealing second, but not successful stealing third. So nobody is on base. And right now, currently, no threat to score. There are 2 outs and nobody on. And J.D. Urso still at the plate. Had to wait a while, but he's got a 2-ball and no strike count. And actually, the count might be 1-1. Okay. I kind of forgot after that delay. Ball's fouled off. Okay, I guess the count is now 2-1. Well, it's amazing how things can change. 2-1 the count. One thing that's changed a little bit is the wind, not blowing nearly as hard as it did pregame of Game 1. A very lazy wind right now. The 2-1 pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 2-2. So Trenton Anderson, a 1-3 record, a 3.5 ERA. Just his 5th start of the year, so he's worked mostly in relief. He has 1 save. He's allowed 50 hits and 43 in 2/3 innings coming in. That ball sliced foul over to the right, and the count is at 2-2 on J.D. Urso with Braden Woodburn in the on-deck circle. Anderson's allowed 25 runs in 43 and 2/3 innings, 17 of the 25 earned. It'll be a 2-2. And it's swung on and missed as he gets Urso on the slider outside, and the inning is over. So consecutive strikeouts by Anderson to end the first inning of Saladino and Urso. So again, the steal by Williams of second did not hurt, and certainly did help that the play was upheld at third base, that he was thrown out. That was a nice throw by Fimiano. You know, the advantage Fimiano had is it was a left-handed batter, and you've got that open view to third. That always helps the catcher. So Tampa does not score in there for the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning here at Andy Seminick List Hall Field on the campus of Florida Tech. It is Tampa nothing at Florida Tech coming up. Well, again, under the direction of fourth-year head coach Jeff Tam, here's the Panther lineup. The pitcher for Tampa is going to be Jake Stipp. Stipp is a left-hander. He's 6'2", 190, a graduate student out of Danville, Illinois. And he's got 3 primary pitches, a fastball that averages near 90 or peaks at 90, also a slider and a changeup. We'll talk more a little bit about Stipp in a few minutes. Let me tell you his record. So Stipp is a perfect 7-0 and a 4.02 earned run average. This is the lineup that he's going to face. Leading over the Panthers will be the third baseman, Gabe Garrett. Batting second at second base is Jason Blackstone. Hitting third at first base, Pedro Figueroa. Batting in the fourth position, the left fielder, Roman Sampson. Hitting fifth, the designated hitter, Jacob Guthrie. So Guthrie gets the game off from right field, but is the DH. Batting sixth is the center fielder, Brett Kelly. So Kelly played last night after missing 7 games. Didn't play in game 1, but back in the lineup for game 2 against center field, batting sixth. Hitting seventh will be Anthony Fimiano, caught last night, had the first game off. Hitting eighth will be Austin Sewell, a guy that doesn't play that much, but he's going to bat eighth and play right field. And batting ninth, the shortstop, is Connor Wiggins. Let's take a look at Tampa defensively, a little bit different defensively than game number 1. Again, Joe Urso moving over from third base to first base. Playing second base, Braden Woodburn, shortstop Nico Saladino, and Kevin Carstetter, who played last night, is playing third base in this game. Jordan Williams in left field. Maddox King is in center. And then Mike Valdez, who's the DH in game 1, is in right field for Villegas, who's the DH. Here's the pitch by Stipp. It's in for a called strike, and it's 0-1 on Garrett. Santiago Garavito. Again, that sounds like a Florida explorer from about 500 years ago, along with Ponce de Leon. There's a ground ball hit wide of first. Stipp has to get over to cover. Oh, it's a little bit too far. Garrett's going to try and go to second. Can he make it? He will. The Pete Rose slide into second base. So that'll have to be a E1. Oh, I meant, you know what? I meant E3. Yeah. All right, that'll be an E3 on Urso. That'll be a throwing error, E3 on Urso, and that allows Garrett to go to second. So, again, Florida Tech last night scored 4 in the bottom of the first. They'd like to have something similar or near it in this second game. Here's the second baseman, Jason Blackstone. The pitch misses for a ball. It's ball 1 on Jason. Blackstone 2 for 4 and a walk in game number 1. One of 3 players to get 2 hits, along with Guthrie and Garrett. Again, the Panthers had 10 hits just like Tampa did, but Tampa had 9 runs to Florida Tech's 2. That one is hit. Nice stop By Stipp, he'll throw to first in time. Not Tip, but Stipp. So I try and talk too fast. And Garrett not able to advance. That was hit right back to Stipp. So the 1-3. Blackstone is out. That'll bring up the first baseman, Pedro Figueroa. Pedro 1 for 5, a run scored, and a walk in game number 1. Batted fourth in the first game, moving up a spot to number 3 in the batting lineup in this game. The pitch is outside for a ball. It is ball 1. Figueroa has a 7-game hitting streak. He's trying to keep going. He's actually 8 for his last 24 at the plate. It's a 333 clip. The pitch is inside and low, 2-0 on Figueroa. Roman Sampson is on deck. Sampson batted 6th at game 1. He's been moved to the cleanup spot, number 4 in this game. The pitch is fisted foul off the top of the net, first base side. And the count is 2-1 on Pedro Figueroa. Pedro came into the action today batting .278 with 4 homers and 27 runs batted in. Went 1 for 5 with a run scored in game number 1 as he fouls it off. The count now 2-2 on Pedro. Again, Pedro, he's really turned into a very good defensive first baseman. The big stretch and the range and picking up the ground balls pretty well. It'll be a 2-2. Stipp, check of the runner at second. And that ball's hit foul over to the right side. And the count remains 2-2 on Figueroa. So again for Tampa, 2 separate 10-game winning streaks in the same season. Well, no wonder they have 34 wins. There's a chopper to third. Runner holds at second. Throw to first is in time. And quick throw back to second, but Garrett didn't get very far off as Figueroa grounds out the third, and there's 2 away. And that brings up the left fielder, Roman Sampson. Sampson 1 for 3, a double and a walk in game number 1. Again, Roman out of Tampa. Now the wind's starting to pick up a little bit like it did in the first game. Blowing out toward left center field. New baseball put into play for Stipp. So again, Stipp out of the Midwest, Danville, Illinois. Well, hopefully he's a Cub fan and not a White Sox fan. Boy, the White Sox look like they're going to be bad again. The pitch is inside for a ball. I mean, it looks like the Cubs could be pretty good. It's kind of, I think the book is still out on them, but they got some pretty good talent. We'll see. So maybe the north side will be happier than the south side of Chicago. There's a pitch, fouled off straight back and out of play. Again, the Panthers left 11 on base in that first game. That's one way to pick up 2 runs, but you have 10 hits. That is not the usual ratio. 10 runs on 2 hits would be even worse. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike on Sampson. The pitch just a bit outside, and it's 2-1. Outfield straightaway, about normal depth for Roman. Again, Roman's got good power. He's got 2 home runs in the year. Hits most of them pulling it to left. It'll be a 2-1. And it's a breaking ball inside for a ball, and it's 3-1. So 3-1 pitch coming up. There's a high pop-up. Dave Kingman is back. And this one is back of us. Out of play. 3-2 will be the count. And that one was hit another mile high. Hey, one good thing about the Rays, they don't have to worry about balls getting up on the roof of Tropicana Field. There is no walkway where they're playing, the Yankee Spring Training Complex at Tampa, so they can do all the high pop-ups they want. All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, Garrett on second, hoping Sampson can pick him up. The 3-2 is a high pop-up, second base. And coming in as a third, the right fielder making the catch. Oh, that was anything but normal. Mike Valdez had to come in a long way as the second baseman Woodburn, I think, lost track of it. And it's a shallow right field catch by Valdez, and the inning is over. So once again, Florida Tech leaves a runner in scoring position. No runs, no hits, an error, one left. We've played one. Again, Florida Tech trying to salvage a game of the series. Tampa looking to sweep the three-game series. Again, they won 9-2 in the first game, 8-4 last night. So we'll be right back. We'll pause. We'll be back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. All right, top of the second inning. Again, J.C. Miles with you, FloridaTechSports.com, along the SSC Digital Network. Trenton Anderson coming out for his second inning of work. Again, 1-3, 3.5 ERA, 14th appearance, but only his fifth start. He's got one save out of the bullpen. 50 hits allowed in 43 and two-thirds innings, 25 runs around, 17 of the 25 earned. He's walked 10, struck out 29, so almost a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. He's allowed just one homer in 43 and two-thirds innings, and opponents are batting .294 against him. His first batter here in the second will be Braden Woodburn, the second baseman. He takes a pitch in for a ball. It's ball one. Woodburn, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, RBI and a walk in game number one. And the pitch is in for a called strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1 strike. So Anderson's last start was a losing one against Eckert last week. That was the one game Eckert won in the series. Florida Tech taking 2 out of 3. Eckert won the game 7-6. The 1-1 pitch is fisted foul behind home plate, and the count is 1-2. So Anderson struggled, went 6 innings, gave up. Well, you know what? He struggled. I'll say that. Gave up 6 runs in 6 innings, but not really. Only 2 of the runs were earned. 7 hits. Walked 2, struck out 6 through 96 pitches. So not everything was his fault. Just a bit outside, and it's 2-2. So again, he gave up 6 runs, only 2 earned. So, I mean, really not too bad. Again, the Panthers taking 2 out of 3 from Eckert, giving them some life to the season, but Tampa kind of dousing that this weekend. That ball's fisted foul over to the right. Again, Florida Tech came in today 7 games behind Tampa in 6th place, just 2 games behind Nova, 2.5 behind Lynn, 3.5 behind Rollins. Again, Rollins swept Eckert. They've had a good weekend. That ball's fisted foul over the right side, and it's 2-2. Again, this is the only Sunshine State Conference game going on today. Everybody else decided to cut out early for the Easter weekend. I don't blame them. It was the Thursday-Friday schedule, so everything is done. This is the only game going on in the SSC today. It'll be a 2-2 by Anderson. That is reach 4, hit down the right field line. Figueroa's out. And did he make – oh, wow, he made the catch. Over the shoulder. That was not a can of corn. He made it look like a can of corn, though. Pass me the butter. Nice play. So Woodburn hits it down the right field line. I didn't think Figueroa would get to it, but he did. All right, 1 out, nobody on. That'll bring up Edgardo Villegas, the designated hitter. Again, he played right field in game number 1, left-handed batter. And the pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Again, a great balance of left-handed and right-handed hitters in this Tampa lineup. It's just about even, really. The pitch, swung on and missed. Big old swing there by Villegas. Villegas, one of 4 multiple hitters in game number 1, 2 for 4, and a run scored. He's down 2 strikes here. Pitch in for a call, strike three. Boy, that was right down Babcock Street against Villegas. Was looking for something different. Didn't get it. And Anderson already has 3 strikeouts. In fact, he has faced 5 batters. He has struck out 3 of the 5. Has not allowed a hit yet, just the opening walk to Williams. Here's Mike Valdez, the right fielder. Pitch to Mike is in for a ball, a little bit high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Valdez playing right field. He was the DH in game number 1, and he was one of the multiple hitters. Went 2 for 4 with an RBI. The pitch is fouled straight back, and that'll even the count up 1-1 on Mike Valdez. Again, Mike out of Miami, 6'1", 215, a senior. Calvin Christian Academy High School. Well, again, top of the second, no score. This game getting off to a better start for Florida Tech. Again, in game 1, Tampa scored 4 in the first. That one is hit, and Anderson gloves it. He'll have an easy play. Underflips it to Figueroa for the out, and the inning is over. Good get by Anderson. Got the glove up real quick, and then went halfway to first and underflipped it to Figueroa. And Anderson has a 1-2-3 inning. So the Spartans, they don't go down in order very often, but they do in the top of the second inning. So we played an inning and a half here at Andy Seminick Les Hall Field on the campus of Florida Tech. It is Tampa nothing and Florida Tech nothing. Well, again, I want to congratulate the Panther softball team. They went over to Tampa, and they took 2 out of 3. So they won 8-3 last night. They had a 5-run top of the 9th inning, so it was actually 3-3 going to the top of the 9th, and they had a 5-run inning and won the game 8-3. And then you fast forward to, that was Thursday night, by the way. That was Thursday night. Then you fast forward, I don't think you ever fast forward to yesterday, but fast forward to yesterday, I'll just go with it. They played the doubleheader against Tampa. Tampa won the first game 3-1, so Florida Tech couldn't get much going. Again, I say that with a 3-1 loss, but in the second game, Florida Tech couldn't get much going. They scored only 1 run, but it was enough. They won 1-0, and the way they won that game was in the very first inning, Sam Shortle stole third, and then there was a bad throw, and Shortle scored, and that was it for either team. So congratulations to Val Silvestrini and the Gals. They take 2 out of 3 from Tampa. The Spartans at the time were the number 3 team in the country, not quite as good as the Tampa baseball team, number 1 in the country coming into today. But Tampa on the softball side is very good, and Florida Tech winning a series over in Tampa probably for the first time in many, many years. So we'll have softball next weekend against Barry, and that'll be fun because Sean Cotter, the former assistant coach to Val Silvestrini, who's the head coach at Barry, will be coming back, and always good to see Mr. Cotter. So we'll look forward to that on Friday. Panther baseball, meanwhile, will be down at Barry in Miami Shores next weekend. Ball fouled off and out of play as leading off for the Panthers here in the bottom of the second inning, no score, is Jacob Guthrie. So 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. Guthrie, Kelly, and Fimiano to face Stipp. S-T-I-P-P. The pitch is fouled off right side, and down in the count is Guthrie. No balls and 2 strikes. Again, remember, we got a Tuesday game this week. Pretty late in the year to have a Tuesday game, but we will be visited by Palm Beach Atlantic, 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Pitch is outside for a ball. So this is the last home SSC series of the year, but the last home game will actually be on Tuesday against the Sailfish of PBA. The 1-2 pitch is a chopper foul over toward the on-deck circle, third base side. Count remains at 1-2. So looking forward to softball. That will be the regular season finale, and we'll look forward to that. Pitch is fouled off and out of play. Well, certainly baseball had some high hopes. 10th team in the South region, but they are more than likely going to drop out with this series loss to the Spartans. And any hopes of the postseason are probably dashed. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Guthrie strikes out. That'll be the first strikeout for Jake Stipp, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Brett Kelly. Again, Kelly did not play in game number 1. played last night, went 1 for 3 and a run score. The pitch missed for a ball, and it's ball one. Again, good that Kelly has played 2 of the last 3 games. Again, he missed 7 with an injury. So back in the lineup and hopefully healthy the rest of the year. Pitch is outside for a ball. Again, the rest of the year is just 4 games. PBA at home on Tuesday. And then Barry on the road in Miami Shores, not far from 103rd Street where my parents used to live, next weekend. Pitch is high for a ball, fastball, and it's a 3-0 count on Brett Kelly. Again, Kelly's been plagued by injuries, but he's managed to hit .306 this year when he's played. And the pitch in for a called strike, and it's 3-1. So Kelly at .306, no home runs, and 10 runs batted in. Stipp working quickly. The pitch is a breaking ball and for a called strike, and it's 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch by Stipp to Kelly. Lifted out in the right center field. And is he going to catch it? Yes, he will. Again, shading his eyes from the sun. Again, that is Valdez playing in right field. And he put the glove up, put it up in the right spot, tracked the ball, and tracked it right into his glove for out number 2. Now I'll bring up the catcher, Anthony Fimiano. Fimiano did not play in game number 1. He did play last night, and he went 1 for 3. And the pitch by Stipp, the left-hander, is a fly ball. Deep left field. Does this have a chance to go out? There it goes, a home run. Anthony Fimiano. So Fimiano with a solo homer, and the Panthers are on the board first. They lead it 1-0 for Fimiano. That is his first home run in a Panther uniform. We usually think of him as Mr. Double because he leads the team at doubles with 12, but he is Mr. HR on that one as he deposited it to the left of the chapel in left center field, and the Panthers are on the board. They should try and retrieve that baseball and bring it back to Fimiano. He can put that on the mantelpiece and show it to his grandkids in about 20 years. Pitch in for a called strike. So 1-0 Florida Tech. And here's Austin Sewell, a guy that has not played much this year. The right fielder swung on and missed. He is down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Sewell batting .273, he's just 3 for 11. He does have 3 runs batted in. And the pitch. High fly, shallow right along the line. And making the catch will be the right fielder. Again, that's Valdez, and the inning is over. But the Panthers get on the board, and Valdez has already had 3 putouts in the right field, 2 in that inning. But 1 run, 1 hit, first homer in a Panther uniform by Fimiano, and the Panthers lead it 1-0 at the end of 2. We'll pause and be back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. All right, 1-0 Florida Tech on the solo homer by Anthony Fimiano. We go to the top of the 3rd inning, and for Tampa, it's going to be the bottom of their batting order. 7, 8, and 9, Kevin Karstetter, Santiago Garavito, and Maddox King, the face, Trenton Anderson. Again, Anderson coming off the loss to Eckert last weekend. So here's Karstetter, who did not play in game number 1, but he did play last night. And the pitch by Anderson is on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Carstetter, a couple of RBIs last night, 1 for 4 and a run scored. He was a designated hitter last night. He's playing third base in this game. There's a high chopper. Tough play for Anderson. He'll set and throw. And I think they got him. They did. And there was Stretch McCovey again. Pedro Figueroa going into the big stretch, which I think really made a difference in that play. Yeah, stretch out that glove and make sure the ball gets there in the least amount of time possible. And Joe Urso will accept that call. I mean, that was a very close play, but Carstetter is out, one away. That'll bring up the catcher, Santiago Garavito. And the pitch to Santiago is outside for a ball. It's ball one. And the pitch is fouled straight back. So Garavito didn't play in game one, and he did appear last night late in the game, but did not get an at-bat. So this is his first plate appearance of the series. Anderson doesn't have a natural windup. The pitch is low for a ball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So Garavito actually last year was first team All-Sunshine State Conference and first team Southern Region. He batted .305 with 12 homers and 58 runs batted in. That one is ripped foul. Look out, Joe Urso. That one whizzed by him. I don't think it came close, but, you know, close is enough for Joe. And that'll be a strike. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Garavito not doing too bad this year. .275, a home run, and 7 runs batted in. So he is 14 for 51 coming in, so doesn't have as many at-bats as a good number of his teammates. Ball's fouled off and out of play, but I think a very, very talented player, as is their first catcher, Trigoyen, who's came in today batting .337 and played in game one. So 2-2 the count on Garavito. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the third, and Florida Tech a 1-0 lead. There's a high pop-up. That one is going to go foul well over to the right. And the count remains 2-2 on Garavito. Garavito out of Plantation down near Fort Lauderdale, American Heritage High School. And I assume that was the one in Plantation, not to be confused with the one in Delray Beach. The 2-2 pitch is a roller hit to left center, and it gets by Wiggins and into left center field for the base hit as Kelly plays it back in. Good dive there by Wiggins, could not come up with it. So Garavito 1 out single here in the third inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Maddox King. King last night went 1 for 5. He was 1 for 2 and a run scored in the first game today, so he's got 2 hits in the series as the number 9 hitter. There's a foul ball behind the feet of Fimiano, strike 1. Again, 0-1 the count on Maddox King, who also plays a very good center field. Local product out of Tampa, Tampa Catholic. And the strike 1 pitch is in for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Joe Urso has 35 players on the roster. 26 are out of Florida, and a good number of those are out of Tampa. So, again, he doesn't have to spend up a lot of the recruiting budget to find players, although there are players from other parts of the country. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. I mean, he's got 10 players who are out of Tampa exactly, and then he's got a few who are just outside of Tampa, like Plant City and Valrico. Pitches outside for a ball, and it's 2-2. Let's see, 2 players out of Pennsylvania, 2 out of New Jersey, and then a sprinkling of players, other parts of the country. Has a player out of Aruba and Puerto Rico. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. Tip back into the glove of Fimiano. And that is a strikeout. That is the already the fourth strikeout for Anderson. We're only in the third inning. So any thoughts of a no-hitter went by the boards with Garavito singling earlier in this inning. He is still on first base with 2 outs. And back to the top of the batting order, the left fielder, Jordan Williams, who walked, stole second in the first inning but was left stranded. And the pitch is in for a called strike. So Williams only has 1 hit in the series, but he's had a bunch of walks. And, he had 2 steals in game number 1. He stole second, stole third in the same inning. So, again, they say a walk is as good as a base hit, and it really is. Won't improve your batting average. That ball's hit the left side, base hit. Nice piece of hitting. Goes the other way to left field. Ball thrown back in by the Panther left fielder. Again, that is Sampson playing left. He played center in game number 1. So Williams with a base hit to left, and a nice piece of hitting. Left-handed batter hitting it to the left side. So Tampa with their second hit of the inning. Here's Nico Saladino, the shortstop. He struck out looking back in the first. Swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Again, Nico came in action today batting .302. 3 homers and 23 RBIs, leading the team in walks, entering play today at 29. That ball sliced on the left field line. It's going to be foul. A long run there for Sampson. He'll pick the ball up and play it back into the infield. They'll put a new ball into play for Anderson. So the Spartans with runners on first and second, 2 outs. So the potential tying run is on at second. The go-ahead run is on at first. So you got Garavito on second, Williams on first, Figueroa playing very deep, practically on the grass against the left-handed hitting Saladino. Checking the runner, Anderson. The pitch is hit to first. Figueroa perfectly positioned. He'll underhand it to Anderson for the putout. I don't know what it is about the positioning of the first baseman today for both teams, but Coach Tam and Coach Urso have been spot on in very interesting situations. So Saladino grounds out to first. The inning is over, and Tampa does not score. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We played 2.5 innings here in 87 at Gluss Hall Field on the campus of Florida Tech. It is Florida Tech 1 and Tampa nothing. Miles with you, FloridaTechSports.com. So again, the Southern Regional poll, which just came out a few days ago, it could change quite a bit, actually. Some teams moving up, some teams moving down, some teams dropping out. Well, Tampa's going to be fine. They should be ranked number 1 whether they win or lose this game. But Florida Southern getting swept by Lynn. Florida Southern, second in the region, getting swept by Lynn. I tell you, they could maybe fall out of it all the way. Maybe in the receiving votes category. Very disappointing weekend for Florida Southern, going down to Lynn and not at least getting 1 game. It's tough to win on the road, but kudos to Rudy Garbelosa of Lynn, one of my favorite people in the conference. Rollins is at number 5. Rollins, they could move up. They swept Eckerd. So why not move Rollins up a couple spots? Again, Delta State is 3, Spring Hill is 4, so you got to account for the teams not in the SSC. West Florida 6, Valdosta State 7, Mississippi College 8, and then here's where it gets interesting. Again, Lynn sweeping Florida Southern, Lynn at number 9. You might move them up at least 3 or 4 spots for sweeping the second-ranked team, Florida Southern. Florida Southern, by the way, the 6th-ranked team in the latest national poll, and they're certainly going to drop there as well. And then Florida Tech is number 10, and certainly, unfortunately for them, things are not going well, and they're probably going to drop out of the top 10. Again, Nova is on the outskirts of the top 10. They could certainly move in because they swept Embry-Riddle. And the pitch is in for a called strike. It's 0-1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And this is Connor Wiggins leading things off. Strike 1 pitch by Stipp is a high pop-up. This one is straight back and out of play. And that'll run the count to no balls, 2 strikes on Wiggins. Wiggins had a 9-game reach base streak snapped in the first game. He went 0 for 4, but he hits this one into center field for a base hit. Still try and start a new streak. So Florida Tech up 1-0, hoping to get some more runs here. We go back to the top of the batting order. The Panther third baseman, Gabe Garrett. Garrett reached on a throwing error. That was on a 3-1 play where it was thrown too high with the pitcher covering by the first baseman, and that being Joe Urso. All right, Stipp at the set, and he'll go to first. And again, Stipp has the advantage of being a left-hander. And again, when you're a left-hander, you should really try and work on that pickoff move. It's different than being a right-hander, but you could be extra crafty and sneaky with that leg kick. He comes to the plate. That ball sliced foul. Look out. That goes over the Panther bullpen like a rocket. And it's strike one on Gabe Garrett. You know, again, with the right-handed pitchers, it's more like quickness and quickly turning and throwing to first. And again, with the lefties, you got to confuse the base runner with your leg motion. The 0-1 comes to the plate. That one is ripped, base hit into left field by Gabe Garrett. Stopping at second will be Wiggins. He will hold there. The Panthers get back-to-back hits to start the bottom of the third inning by Wiggins and Garrett, and that'll bring up Jason Blackstone, the second baseman. Blackstone hit a tapper back to Stipp back in the first inning. So again, the Panthers in a good spot in their batting order. The number 2 hitter, Blackstone, and then if it goes far enough, Figueroa, Sampson, and Guthrie. Middle of the infield back for Tampa. Could Blackstone be bunting here? He's a pretty good bunter when he puts his mind to it. Check of the runner, Stipp at second. He squares around, gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Throw to first will be in time. That was a good fielding play by the third baseman and a very good bunt by Blackstone. He kind of deadened it. He bunted it about on the grass along the line, maybe about 15 feet from home plate, and the ball came to a slow stop. Good play by Carstetter to get the out of first base. So 5-3 sack successful by Blackstone, moving Wiggins to third and Garrett to second. And now it's up to either Figueroa or Sampson to try and bring in 2 runs here and give the Panthers a little bit of breathing room. Here's Pedro Figueroa. Figueroa grounded out to third back in the first inning. And the shift is on for Figueroa. Pitch is outside for a ball. You know, I always think of shifts more with left-handed batters than right-handed batters, but I guess righties get them too. And, I mean, you got, well, now you got the second baseman moving back to his normal position. Oh, it's the IBB. You don't have to throw forward wide ones anymore. Let's just get that IBB going. Let's get on the fast track. So it's going to be an intentional walk. Well, that's why the second baseman, Woodburn, was running back to second because they're putting Figueroa on. And now the bases are loaded with one out. And here's Roman Sampson, who again has had a flair for the dramatic in his Panther career. A couple of home runs at good spots. This would be a good spot to hit the Grant Salami. Let's get that spicy mustard on that sandwich. The pitch is swung on and missed. Oh, tied up by that off-speed pitch by Stipp. It's 0-1 on Roman. Roman flew out to right field back in the first inning. Again, Sampson does have 2 home runs in the year. 2 homers, 12 RBIs, batting just .239. Again, doesn't play as often as he did last year. Okay, time is called, I believe. Or is it a strike? I don't know. Again, that pitch clock will put me in my grave sometime in the future. Guess they called a strike on Sampson, so it's 0-2. That's a quick 0-2 count. And the pitch is in the dirt. And it's 1-2. So 1-2 the count on Sampson. Middle of the infield is back. Looks like they're looking to concede a run. Corner infielders are up a little bit, but very wide at first is Urso. So he's giving Sampson the right field line if he wants it. The pitch is a chopper to short, and that's going to score a run. Hot potato, get that sour cream out. That'll be an error, I would think. Yeah, an error on Saladino. The run scores, and that should be an RBI as well for Sampson. And the Panthers lead it 2-0. So an E6 on Saladino and scoring is Wiggins. To third goes Garrett. To second goes Figueroa, and on at first is Sampson. So the base is still loaded with one out. Florida Tech up 2-0, looking for more. Swung on and missed by Guthrie. Strike one. He struck out swinging back in the second inning. So Garrett's on third, Figueroa's on second, and Sampson is on first. The first baseman, Urso, once again playing very wide at first and deep, not holding the runner on. The pitch is just outside, and it's 1-1. Florida Tech is going to break through and try and get some distance. This is the time to do it. Base is loaded, one out, up 2-0, bottom of the third. Step at the set. The pitch is hit the second. It could be two. They go to shortstop for one, on to first, double play. Oh, those double plays are a killer, especially when they go against you. When they go for you, they're great. So that's a 4 to 6 to 3 double play that goes from Woodburn to Saladino to Urso. So the side is retired, and Florida Tech has to settle for one run as they send six batters to the plate. They score one, and they do so on two hits. There was an error and an intentional walk. So we played 3 innings here at Andy Nicholas Hall Field at the campus of Florida Tech. It is 2-0 Florida Tech. Again, they're trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series. So we'll pause and be back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. All right, we go to the top of the fourth inning. Again, J.C. Miles with you, FloridaTechSports.com, along the SSC Digital Network. So, I don't know, we're about 45 minutes into this one. And the Panthers lead at 2-0. 2 runs on 3 hits so far for Florida Tech. No runs, 2 hits, and two errors for Tampa. 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order coming up. Urso, Woodburn, and Villegas. So J.D. Urso, again the son of head coach Joe Urso, struck out swinging back in the first inning. Again, Anderson, no natural windup, works exclusively out of the stretch. And the pitch is a ground ball hit wide of third. Nice pickup by Garrett, squares, throws to first in time. Nice play by Gabe, who at times has had a tough time at third base this year defensively. So first ball swinging Urso. He is done 5-3. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brandon Woodburn, who hit a foul pop-up to Figueroa. That was hit down the right field line about halfway between the line and the fence, and he caught it near the warning track in foul territory, kind of over his shoulder. Not the easiest play, particularly with the wind blowing and with his back to home plate. The pitch is a foul ball. That's a little bit painful for Woodburn as it went off part of his body. It looks like he's going to be okay, though. So strike one on Woodburn. Again, Woodburn out of Winter Springs went to Oviedo High. Again, Woodburn, leading hitter on the team, batting .362 coming in action today. 2 homers and 26 RBIs, leading the team in on base coming in today at .481. Outfield is pretty much traded away. A little shaded toward left center is Kelly in center. Strike one pitch is sliced foul over toward Rick Stoller Soccer Field. So it's been a tough weekend for men's and women's lacrosse. They both lost yesterday. Their season's over. Tough weekend for baseball, but boy, we got the ladies of Florida Tech against softball. 2 out of 3. They win over in Tampa. The strike two pitch is a ground ball hit to short. Nice pickup. Wiggins straightens up, throws to first in time, and that is out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the fourth. That'll bring up Edgardo Villegas, the designated hitter who struck out looking back in the second inning. So for Anderson, he has struck out 4. He has walked 1. And he's allowed just 2 hits in nearly 4 innings of work. So 2 outs, nobody on. Anderson with the pitch to Villegas. And it's a changeup in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Again, Anderson technically with 5 pitches: fastball, curve, slider, change, and cutter. Pitch is fouled off and out of play. And again, I still think that James Tanaka, who's no longer with the Yankees, has been gone about 3 or 4 years, but he had about 9 different pitches. Hard to get them all in one game. I think 4 or 5 is enough. Pitch is on the outside corner in for a called strike 3, and quite perplexed at the plate is Villegas. Doesn't really say anything as he walks back to the dugout. So Trenton Anderson pitched an outstanding game. He is working on a 2-hit shutout through 4 innings, and he's got 5 strikeouts in the game. That's actually the second time that he's gotten Villegas. So a 1-2-3 inning for the second time executed by Anderson. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Andy Semenuk Hall Field on the campus of Florida Tech. It is Florida Tech 2 and Tampa nothing. Well, again, last year, Florida Tech went over to Tampa, got swept by scores of 6-4, 13-0, and 19-11. So that wasn't much fun. Again, Tampa's won 14 consecutive games over the Panthers in the last, 5 years or so. And again, the all-time series is ugly, but, Tampa does this to about half the conference. I mean, they've dominated this conference for so long, and the season series with about 4 or 5 other clubs is pretty similar to this, as Tampa has won over Florida Tech 132 times, and Florida Tech's only won 34 times. Again, the Panthers coming off 2 out of 3 last weekend to Eckert. 12-7, 16-10, 7-6, again outscoring the Tritons 34-24. And again, Tampa, they just don't lose, really. They swept Rollins at home 15-2, 9-6, and 14-5. Again, looking to get back to the World Series, which they won last year, defeating Angelo State in the national championship game. There's a ground ball, and smothered. Saladino, throw to first, is in time. I don't know about that. I don't know if Coach Dam's going to challenge that one. I thought maybe it was safe, but what a play by Saladino. And Kelly is out. Here's Anthony Fimiano. So no challenge by Coach Tam. 1 away. That'll bring up Fimiano, who hit a solo homer back in the 2nd inning to put Florida Tech on the board. And again, for Anthony, his first ever home run in a Panther uniform. The pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Again, the Panthers would add another run in the 3rd inning. RBI on an error that Roman Sampson reached on, scoring Wiggins. Pitch is low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Austin Sewell is on deck. And the pitch by Stipp is reached for, pop up. Can he get to it? The first baseman, no, it's the only one getting to it is, oh no, did he catch it? I guess he caught it. It went out of my view. I assumed it was in the bullpen, but I can only imagine it was a wonderful catch by Urso, who committed an error earlier in the game, so his proud pop on the dugout. Probably very happy with that play. I just assumed that one was in the bullpen. Again, it was out of my view, and I figured that's in the pen. Well, it's not. Ball caught by Urso, and Sewell sends one just foul down the left field line. And again, missed it by that much, about a foot foul. So strike 1 the count on Austin Sewell, who flied out to right field back in the 2nd inning. Again, Sewell hasn't played much this year. Pitch is in for a strike, and it's 0-2. This is actually only his 2nd start, only his 12th appearance, 273. 3 for 12 on the year. Ball's fouled off. And 2 strikes on Sewell. Again, Austin out of Plant City, went to Durant High School. Swung on and missed, and Sewell strikes out, and the inning is over. That is just the second strikeout by Stipp. And that is the first time that Florida Tech has gone down in order in the game. 3 up and 3 down. So we've played 4 innings here at Andy Sebenik Hall Field at the campus of Florida Tech. 2-0 Florida Tech as they try and split this Sunshine State Conference doubleheader. We'll be right back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. It's okay. All right, top of the 5th inning. We're just a little over an hour into this one. 4 innings in the books, 2-0 in favor of Florida Tech. Trenton Anderson coming out for another inning, and there's no action to the Panther bullpen. So, again, Jeff Tam used 3 pitchers in game number 1. He'd like to see Anderson go a little bit longer and hopefully set up the bullpen well for later in the game. Again, Florida Tech is up, but it is only 2-0. Here's Mike Valdez leading off for the Spartans in the top of the 5th. The pitch is in for a ball, and it's ball 1 on Mike Valdez. So for Tampa, 6, 7, 8 in the batting order, Valdez, Carstetter, and Garavito. The pitch outside on the slider, and it's 2 balls to no strikes on Valdez. Again, sunny, clear blue skies. The sun has not quit yet today. Out in all of its glory and no clouds. The pitch hit for a called strike, and it's 2-1. So again, a beautiful day for the fans. Not so great for the fielders. Again, a stiff wind continues to blow, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour currently, but it's probably peaked at about 20. There's a high pop-up right side, and Figueroa is trying to find the ball. It doesn't matter. It's in the Panther bullpen. Again, very bright sunshine, and players have to try and shield their glove in front of their eyes. And, again, they are wearing sunglasses, but that doesn't always do the trick. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mike Valdez. Slightly open stance from the right side. Again, he wears Jackie Robinson's number, 42. The 2-2 is in the dirt, 3-2. Well, again, 4 days ago on April the 15th, Major League Baseball, as they've done for quite a while, honoring Jackie Robinson, all the players wearing 42 throughout the big leagues. 78th anniversary, ball fouled off and out of play. Well, I'll tell you, there are 2 things I think about. My dad went to Princeton 85 years ago, and Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier 78 years ago. Well, I can't wrap my arms around that well. That one is hit, base hit in the left field by Valdez. Oh, it goes by the Panther left fielder. That's Sampson. He's at second, going to third, and he's going to make it. So let's see how we score that one. All the way? All the way? Okay, so we can call that a single and a 2-base error. Yeah, single and a 2-base error. That makes sense. Okay. So single, 2-base error. That's an E7 on Sampson. And Tampa brings the potential tying run to the plate. And the third baseman, Kevin Carstetter, who grounded out the third back in the 3rd inning. So Tampa trying to make a run here and trying to race that 2-0 Panther lead. There's a high chopper. That'll score the run. Charging is Wiggins, and they are going to get him. I think Joe Urso might be challenging this. Yeah, he says, hey, go to the headsets. I don't like that call. Let's overturn that call, and I think it might be overturned. It looked like he was safe. So the headsets are getting a workout today, and actually even going back to last night. So the previous play is under review. So that'll slow up the game a little bit. Again, we're about an hour and 5 minutes in this one, but we're moving pretty well. Top of the fifth, 2-1 Florida Tech. Now, needless of what happens on that play, Tampa will get a run. So at worst for the Spartans, that'll be an RBI ground out, but it could also be a infield hit. So we'll see how it goes here. Again, last night, I think we might have only had replay once, maybe twice at the most. But last night, both umpires were at the monitor looking at it, but only one umpire is looking at it. So, I mean, you could have a difference of opinion. Maybe they just want one umpire to look at it. But Randy Olhausen, who was the home plate umpire in Game 1, he's the base umpire in this game. So Casey Sanchez is taking a good look at this one. In the meantime, Trenton Anderson trying to stay loose. He'll throw in some warm-up pitches. But I'll tell you, I love the way Joe Urso signals to the headsets. He gets his hands up and say, yeah, headset. No, I don't have a migraine headache, but I could if this isn't overturned. I'll tell you, Joe Urso is just a sweetheart of a guy, but I don't know if I'd want to sit in the dugout during a game with him. He could get as intense as anybody else. But off the field, I'll tell you, when they put the word gentleman in the dictionary, it should say Joe Urso, and it should say Bill Juergens. Okay? I'll just leave it at that. We could have two names. Those are two that come to mind. Now we miss Bill, former athletic director at Florida Tech. The gentle giant. Okay, so they're still taking a look at this. And we will see what the verdict is. Again, we'll be out here Tuesday for Palm Beach Atlantic, 6 o'clock start. What do we got? Out. And the Panther crowd erupts in joy. Coach Tam is signaling to the umpire about something. I'm not going to worry about it. So that is an RBI ground out, so not totally a loss for Tampa because the run scored, that being Valdez, and it's 2-1 Florida Tech. So for the Spartans, not all is lost. And the pitch is low and inside for a ball. This is Santiago Garavito, the catcher. He singled back in the third inning. So good ball game here. Pretty well played, although Tampa's got two errors, 2-1 Florida Tech. There's a chopper foul down the left field side. It'll be a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Garavito. Maddox King is on deck. Well, still no action to the Panther bullpen. Again, Coach Tam hoping that Anderson can go maybe a couple more innings at least. The 1-1 is a soft liner to second and easily handled right near his feet. Blackstone with a play, 2 away. And that'll bring up Maddox King, the center fielder. King struck out swinging back in the third inning. Let's check on the pitch count for 68 for Anderson. Not too bad. I'd call that either way, 68. Not bad for the fifth inning. The pitch is low for a ball, so he's gonna have at least 70. Nonetheless, this will be 70 coming up. Ball one. The pitch, just a bit outside, and that'll run the count to 2-0. Again, Anderson has struck out 5. He has walked just 1. The shutout is gone, but still he's allowed Tampa just 3 hits. Pitch is in for a ball. I say that. Well, Florida Tech only has 3 hits, but Florida Tech does have a run-up on him, 2-1. So 3-0 the count on King. And the pitch to Maddox is inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to the King. So that is the second walk allowed by Anderson. Again, he has struck out 5. And that brings up Jordan Williams, the left fielder. Williams has walked, stolen a base, and also singled. Again, he only has 2 hits in the series. He went 1 for 5 last night, did not get a hit in the first game today. Pitched in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. But again, he's managed to get on base via the walk mostly. So strike 1 on Jordan Williams. Again, he's out of Odessa, Florida. And the pitch is outside to late steal second. Throw down is going to be in time. So I think that's the first time that Florida Tech has thrown out a Tampa base runner. They had 5 steals last night. They had 9 in game number 1. And Fimiano able to get King trying to steal second. It looked like it was a delayed steal. I don't think he left right away. So caught stealing 2-6. So Tampa has to settle for 1 run in the half of the 5th inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 walk, and nobody is left on base. So he played 4.5 innings. We're halfway in this one. It is Tampa 2, or Florida Tech 2, and Tampa 1. Again, J.C. Miles with you on FloridaTechSports.com. Again, Jake Stipp throwing in his warm-up pitches. Again, Stipp is out of Danville, Illinois. He's 6'2", 190. He's a left-hander. Second team All-Sunshine State Conference last year. Again, he's a transfer from Eckerd. Again, he had a 7-1 record last year. And he is 7-0 this year, so he is 14-1 in his last 15 starts. Now let's see. He has 11 starts this year, so he actually does have 4 no decisions. But 7-0 last year, or actually, oh boy. I want to get this right. It's been a long day, folks. Yeah, 7-0. 7-0 this year. 7-1 last year. I think I said that. Pitch is high for a ball. Ball 1. And leading off for the Panthers, they're in the bottom of the 5th, up 2-1. It's Connor Wiggins. There's a high pop-up. Another Dave Kingman special for the 70s. First baseman under it, and he makes the catch. That is J.D. Urso with the play. 1 away. Back to the top of the batting order, the Panther third baseman Gabe Garrett, who's reached on a throwing error and also singled. So again, Stipp is a transfer from Eckerd. Also attended Danville Area Community College in Danville, Illinois, as ball's foul down the third base side. So Stipp is actually pretty much taking care of his education. He actually did graduate from Eckerd with a degree in business, but at Tampa he's pursuing his master's in business, so good for him. Pitch by Stipp is fisted out in the right center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Gabe Garrett going the other way. Again, I love it when the Panther players go the other way, and Garrett really doing it well in that play. So 1 out single by Garrett to right center will bring up the second baseman, Jason Blackstone. Jason is 0 for 1, put down a nice 5-3 sacrifice bunt back in the third inning. It is exactly 6 o'clock here on the East Coast. Hope everybody's having a nice pre-Easter. It is Easter Eve. Runner is picked off 1-3 to 6, and Garrett was leaning too much, and he is thrown out. So caught stealing Garrett, and there are 2 outs and nobody on. So Garrett kind of committed to going. He just decided to go, and Tampa throwing him out by a fair amount. So 2 outs and nobody on, and still no count on Blackstone. Now Stipp will work from the full windup. There's a ground ball cue to first, and easy play for the first baseman Urso. Runs to the bag, and the inning is over. So the caught stealing hurts, and Florida Tech does not score in their half of the fifth inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, nobody left. We've played 5. Good ball game. Florida Tech 2, Tampa 1. We'll pause and be back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. All right, welcome back. Top of the 6th inning. Trenton Anderson having one of his best starts of the year. Again, he comes in 1-3 with a 3.5 ERA. Just his 5th start of the year. Again, used mostly out of the bullpen, but so far facing the number 1 team in the country, the number 1 team in the South region as well, the Tampa Spartans. He's pitched 5 innings. He's allowed 1 run on 3 hits. He has struck out 5, and he has walked 2. Can he keep it up? It's hard to do against this Tampa ball club. And here's Jordan Williams leading off in the top of the 6th inning. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1 on Williams. So it's top of the batting order. Williams, Saladino, and Urso. Williams has walked, stolen a base, and singled. Again, just 2 hits in the series for this leadoff batter who's had a tremendous year. The pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Again, Williams second leading here in the club, batting .358. But again, he has the all-time stolen base record for 1 season, eclipsing the 52. That was the old record. He's gotten more than that lately. The pitch is in for a ball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is fouled off. So I think Williams has 3 steals on the day. Again, the wind is blowing. I'm trying to kind of dig it out, but I've got him. I got him with at least 59 steals on the year. See if I can get that clarified there. The pitch is a high chopper, wide of first. Can they get him? I don't think so. Safe. Close play, but looked like he beat him. I'll tell you, a Baltimore chop like that with a left-handed hitter with the speed of Williams, very tough for Florida Tech to do anything on that. So that is an infield hit for Williams, just his 3rd hit of the series, but he is 2 for 2 in a walk in this game. So the tying run is on at first. Again, 2-1 Florida Tech here in the 6th inning. And here's Nico Saladino, the shortstop. Saladino struck out looking in the first and grounded out first unassisted in the 3rd. The pitch is fouled straight back. Yes, I have Williams with 2 steals in game number 1. He stole second and stole third in the first inning. And he's got 1 steal here, so he should be 59 steals, and he might try and get 60 here, getting a good lead at first base. The pitch is on the outside corner in for a strike, and it's 0-2. So he is 59 for 65. I believe that is correct. Again, kind of doing the quick math on my own. Good lead at first. He's running. Swung on at a foul ball. Have to go back. You know, Williams might be the kind of guy that maybe you don't put the hit and run on because he's just so successful in stealing. And I'm assuming that was the hit and run, as swinging at it and fouling it off was Saladino. Middle of the infield is back at double play depth. And again, a 2-strike count on the batter, Nico Saladino, with J.D. Urso on deck. Williams a good lead at first. And he's running again. Pitch outside, throw to second is not in time. So he's got a stolen base. That should be number 60 on the year. So he had 2 in the first game of the doubleheader today. He's got 2 in this game. He did not have a steal last night. So 4 in the series. Again, Tampa had 9 steals total in that first game. The pitch is high for a ball. I mean, Woodburn had 3. Williams had 2. King had 2. And then Graham and Villegas with 1 apiece. So how do you beat this Tampa team? They can beat you with power. They can beat you with speed. Very tough. Ball's fouled off and out of play. And again, they've got a JV team on campus, so they're always developing the younger players who pretty much are ready to step in probably the following year. I mean, that's a luxury. And again, they're not the only team in the conference that has a JV team. Rollins, Barry, and Florida Southern have one, and there is a sugar-coated throw to second base. Again, that looked like the lollipop. Fortunately, no error on the play. I'll tell you, it's easy to have an error on that kind of play. Wiggins was there to take the toss. That was definitely a toss. That was like throwing an Easter egg. The 2-2 pitch is coming up. That ball fouled off to the left and out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Saladino. Again, Urso on deck. Again, Williams on second, representing the tying run. Anderson in for the signs from Fimiano. And check of the runner at second. 2-2 coming up. Change up, gets away from him. High and outside. 3-2. Well, I'll tell you, it's tough to deal with Tampa at any time, but particularly when you're dealing with the top part of the batting order. Saladino bats second. Urso, the number 3 batter, on deck. It'll be a 3-2. That ball sliced to left. That'll be a base hit. Possible play at the plate. No, they hold him up at third. Good throw in by Kelly. It actually skips the cutoff man, that being Garrett, but it comes right to Fimiano at the plate. So Saladino singles Williams to third. I'll tell you, I bet about 95% of the time Williams would score on that type of play, but not there. Good job by Sampson to get the ball in. So the tying run is on at third. The go-ahead run is on at first. It's 2-1 Florida Tech, top of the 6th. First and third, nobody out for J.D. Urso, who is 0 for 2. So Anderson in a pickle here. The pitch is a soft liner hit to short. That'll score the run. They go to second for 1. On to first. Did they get him? Double play. Again, hesitation by the base umpire. I guess maybe you got to think about it for a second or two. So that'll be a 6-4-3 double play. No RBI. The run scores, that being Williams. We're tied at 2. Well, again, the Panthers turned 3 double plays in game number 1. That's their first one of this game. That was not the typical tailor-made double play ball. It's kind of a short out for Wiggins, but still got it to Blackstone. Blackstone got it to Figueroa. And again, Figueroa, I am going to call him Mr. Stretch. He does it amazing, I'll tell you. There's a chopper to third. Wide of third, Garrett straightens up, throws the first in time, and the inning is over. So considering the circumstances, good job by Anderson to get out of the inning with nothing worse than a 2-2 tie. So the Spartans do tie it up. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Or actually nobody left on base. So we played 5.5 innings here at Andy Semenuk Less Hall Field on the campus of Florida Tech. It is Florida Tech 2 and Tampa 2. Again, J.C. Miles with you, FloridaTechSports.com, and looks like Jake Stipp is coming out for another inning. So Stipp at his last start on April 12th against Rollins. That was a game that Tampa would win easily, 14-5. Stipp Again, improving his record to 7-0, went 6 innings. Allowed 4 runs, but only 3 of the 4 were earned. He gave up 5 hits. He walked 3. He struck out 1. He had 97 pitches, and he had 59 for strikes. And prior to that, against Nova, April 5th, that was a 7-4 Tampa win. Now, Stipp did not figure the decision. Robert Satin got the win in relief. Stipp went 4 innings, didn't pitch too badly, threw 82 pitches, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. He walked 2, and he struck out 3. So, again, this Tampa pitching staff is loaded. I mean, you got Gonzalez. You know, you had Alex Candy last year who graduated, and otherwise, boy, you'd really have quite a pitching staff for the Spartans. And again, they have a very good bullpen as well. You know, again, you had the starter last night. The pitch is in. Pitches in for a ball. Ball 1. Pitch is outside for a ball. Leading off for the Panthers is Pedro Figueroa. Figueroa 0 for 1, also received the intentional walk. That's called respect, I believe. Pitches ball, 3 balls and no strikes. Yeah, again, C.J. Williams. I was trying to remember his name. He was the pitcher last night. Pitches in for a called strike. So NCAA Division II baseball this year. I mean, Williams, Gonzalez, and Stipp. That is a good 3-man weekend rotation. There's a fly ball down the left field line. And is it fair or foul? It's foul. Not sure how much it was foul. I lost track of the ball. What's that? Oh, very foul. Thank you. Preston Uveris, one of my favorite players on the Panther team, sitting right in front of me, doing his due diligence, helping out the pitchers. Pitches high for a ball, ball 4. Actually tracking Stipp on the mound. So that's a walk for Figueroa. Well, one thing about Figueroa, that was a long foul ball. Hoping that didn't hit any cars. So Figueroa gets the walk. That'll bring up Roman Sampson, the Panther left fielder. Sampson, I believe we're going to give him credit for an RBI in his last at bat, an E6. I think the run would have scored anyway, so we'll give him an RBI. And 0 for 2, fly ball to right in the first. So Figueroa leading off at first, being held on by Urso. The pitch, fly ball down the left field side. This one is well foul, more of a hook than distance. And it's out of play. It'll be strike 1 on Roman Sampson. Jacob Guthrie in the on-deck circle. Again, Figueroa is on first base. Not much of a base stealer, but you know what? He is 4 for 4. But he's taken a very short lead. Pitch on the way is inside for a ball. You know, maybe sometimes players learn during the game. I mean, Garrett got picked off 1 or 2 innings ago. Maybe the next base runner is thinking, you know what, maybe I won't take as big of a lead. I don't want to get picked off. Don't want to get Coach Tam upset. It'll be a 1-1 by Stipp. It's inside. Breaking ball, 2-1 on Roman Sampson. Get Roman out of Tampa. So he'll dig back in. Again, Figueroa, a pretty short lead at first. Again, being held on by Urso. Slightly open stance, Sampson. And the pitch is high, and it's now 3-1. Again, a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, Tampa won the first game 9-2. They won the first game of the series last night 8-4. But Florida Tech hanging tooth and nail in this one. In the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2. 3-1. And Stipp with the tricky move to first. And again, the base umpire, Mr. Olhausen, he has to keep an eye on a couple things. The motion by Stipp to go to first, so he doesn't call a balk. And then quickly at first to try and make a call if it's close. On the pickoff attempt, the ball is fouled off down the right field side, and this one is going to be I assume it's out of play. I was wrong in the last one, out of my view, and evidently it was out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I'll tell you, for the base umpire in 2 umpire mechanics, that is hard. That is mentally hard. So you're looking at a left-handed pitcher to make sure he doesn't balk. And then when he goes to first, after that, you have to put those eyeballs on first base if it's a close play, and you're calling it from a distance. I would not want that job. So 3-2. You know, with a right-handed pitcher, not as excruciating. Pick-off attempt, and the runner gets back. You know, again, you're looking at that move also from an angle. I mean, the umpire kind of diagonally to the right of the pitcher. Can you really determine, is that a balk or is he stepping toward first? It can be very, very tricky. Comes to the plate. That ball is fouled off to the right and out of play, so Sampson with a long at bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we're an hour and a half into this one. We started at about 4:45, so we're moving along pretty well. Still a lot of sunlight out here. The sun really hasn't taken much of a break at all. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. I don't think Figueroa's going again. Another 3-2 pitch. It's a fly ball. Popped up. This one's going to be out of play. Or is it going to be caught? Boy, I did it again. Did it again, Chief. That is a foul pop-up and caught. I guess it was by Urso. Again, out of my view, I could have sworn it got out of play, but it did not. So Sampson makes an out, and it's 2 away. It's 1 away for Jacob Guthrie, the designated hitter. Guthrie over 2, struck out swinging in the second, hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the third. There's a roller hit to short. Saladino goes to second for 1. On to first, double play. That'll be a 6-4-3. That is Saladino to Woodburn to Urso. Nicely turned. They had a 4-6-3 double play earlier. This one is 6-4-3, second double play of the game for the Spartans, and the inning is over. So Florida Tech does not score. No runs, no hits, a walk, and nobody left on base. We have played 6 innings here at Andy Seminick Les Hall Field in the campus of Florida Tech. We're tied at 2. We'll be right back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. Keep it muted. All right, we go to the top of the 7th inning. New pitcher for Florida Tech. It is Noah Steckley. Let's check the numbers on Steckley. Well, they've been pretty good. 4-2 record, 2.86 earned run average. 15th appearance, all in relief. He's got 3 saves. That's second in the club, 1 behind Ethan Stevens. He's pitched 22 innings. He's allowed just 15 hits. That's good. Good ratio there. He's allowed 8 runs in 22 innings, 7 of the 8 earned. Not too bad. He's walked 14, struck out 26, almost a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Hasn't allowed a home run yet in 22 innings of work, and opponents are batting .200 against him. So again, Steckley, the tallest player on the team, or at least one of the tallest. Double checking that, 6'6". I think there's another player who's 6'6". Yeah, Josh Beck is 6'6". So, I don't see anybody who's 6'7". So, Steckley 6'6", 225, a senior out of Jupiter, went to Jupiter Community High School. So, I believe he comes in as the pitcher of record, Steckley. He does? Okay. Again, the tricky rules of baseball, trying to keep track of pitchers. I mean, I've been following this game since I've been about 10 years old, and sometimes it's just hard for me to figure out. All right, top of the 7th inning. Tampa dugout is getting alive as they're up offensively here. This is Villegas, who hits a high pop-up, shallow left field, and Sampson camping under it, makes the catch, one away. And that'll bring up Mike Valdez, the right fielder. Mike is 1 for 2 and a run scored. Valdez also has a run scored, as I mentioned, 1 for 2. Pitch by Steckley is in for a called strike. Again, I love watching Steckley. He's such a tall, big-bodied guy. I mean, he can really get his legs into his motion because he is a tall guy. 6'6". The pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 0-2. I mean, if you're really short, it's kind of hard to be a pitcher because there's so much that goes into the mechanics and the motion. But I'll tell you what, when you're tall, the world is your oyster if you can master your mechanics. The pitch is outside. Nice scoop there by Fabiano. Make you like it was nothing, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Valdez. Swung on and missed. So Steckley makes quick work of Valdez for his first strikeout. And this is Kevin Karstetter, the third baseman. He's grounded out to third. He also grounded out to short, but that was a RBI in that play. And I think that was the play that was under review, and he was called out. Coach Urso was looking for a infield hit on that, but it was not overturned. So 2 outs and nobody on. The pitch is high for a ball, fastball, and it's ball 1. And the pitch is a ground ball second. Blackstone, he bobbles it. It's going to be an error. Not the easiest play in the world, but that's one that Jason should make because he had an angle to his left and just cannot pick up the ball. So 2-out error, and that keeps the inning going for Santiago Garavito, the Tampa catcher. Garavito's 1 for 2, single to the third inning, hit a soft liner to Blackstone later on. And the pitch is outside for a ball. So a really good start by Trenton Anderson. Unfortunately, he is not eligible for the win. He pitches 6 innings, allows 2 runs on 5 hits. Struck out 5, walked 2, I believe. Pickoff attempt, runner gets back. Struck out 5, and it looks like he walked 2. So a quality start, but it's not going to amount in a win, just a no decision. He's hoping Steckley can keep this a 2-2 tie. Steckley, the pitcher of record. The ball 1 pitch. Pickoff attempt first. Runner goes back. Again, that is Karstetter. Steckley at the set. Pitch is high and tight. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. So Karstetter, not much of a base stealer, but he's been pretty successful. He's 5 for 7. Getting a pretty good lead. Figueroa holding him on. 2-ball pitch coming up. Another pickoff attempt, and Karstetter gets back. Well, again, not as tough for the base umpire to determine a balk because it's a right-handed pitcher. He would really have to do something unusual to have a ball called on him, but lefties, you just never know. Swung on and missed. 2-1 on Garavito. Maddox King on deck. So 2-2 tie, top of the 7th inning. 2 runs on 5 hits for both teams. Tampa 2 errors, Florida Tech 1. It'll be a 2-1 by Steckley. Long pause. The pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 2-2. So Steckley checking his sleeve. Pitch clock down to 15. He's going to get this off in plenty of time. He could pause for about 10 seconds if he wants, but he'll come to the plate, or he'll go to first. He'll go to first instead, and the runner gets back. Again, a pretty healthy breeze blowing, probably about 5 to 10 miles per hour, not as gusty as it was earlier in the day. Runner goes. This one lifted out in the center field, base hit, and Carstetter will easily make it a third on the single by Garavito. So Urso sends the runner, and now the go-ahead run is on at third base with 2 outs. So I guess that was the hit and run. I mean, it wasn't the pure hit and run where you try and hit it into a spot that becomes vacated, but Garavito muscling that into right center field. Well, Steckley still has a chance to get out of this. There are 2 outs, but this makes it a little bit harder. First and third, 2 outs for Maddox King, the center fielder. King has struck out swinging, and he has walked. Figueroa is going to hold on. Garavito at first. Garrett at third, playing relatively deep. Middle of the infield deep as well. Here's the pitch by Steckley to King. And it's in the dirt, and taking second. And wild pitch. Oh. Was he going? Okay. We're going to give him a steal. Here comes Jeff Tam. Again, Alex Carpenter's made most of the pitching changes this year, so this should just be a social call because, for one thing, there's nobody warming up in the Panther bullpen. So instead of sending Carpenter out, Tam wants to go out there and personally talk to Steckley. You know, again, Tam is a former pitcher. I mean, some of the things he could pick up on, even though it's kind of long distance, but being the former pitcher that he is, you know, mechanics, leg kick, are you driving your legs? Are you following through? I mean, stuff I would have no idea, really. I mean, you really have to be an expert on pitching. And I mean, Tam had a pretty good career, major leagues, particularly 2002 with the A's. Was a key guy out of their bullpen. Hard to believe that was like 23 years ago. You probably can't believe it either. All right, ball one is the count. So he saw something. We'll see if Steckley, see how he does here. The pitch is a changeup in for a called strike. Nice change up there by Noah. So Steckley, fastball, curveball change, so evidently doesn't have a true slider. So second and third, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning, tied at 2. Tampa trying to get the lead, and this one fouled off to the right side, and Steckley is ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tampa's out hit Florida Tech 6-5. Again, we're tied at 2. So good ball game. A little more drama in this one than the 9-2 win by Tampa in Game 1. That one was pretty much decided right away in the first. This one has some drama. The 1-2 is high, fastball, and it's 2-2. So Florida Tech trying to salvage 1 win against this really good Tampa team. Again, 9 national championships in their history. 6 for Joe Urso, and then Urso has a 7th when he was a player in 1992. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Ball dropped. Throw to first is in time. I'll tell you, if it's not in time, the run would have scored. But good play by Fimiano to kind of keep his composure for a moment and throw to first for the out, and the inning is over. So Steckley actually gets 2 strikeouts in the inning, and it's the 7th time that Tampa struck out in the game. So close call for the Panthers defensively, but they get out of it with no runs, 1 hit, and error, and 2 men left on base. So 7th inning stretch time here at the old ballpark, 6.5 innings of the books, and we are tied at 2. Again, J.C. Miles with you, FloridaTechSports.com, and I'm going to go back to my baseball quotes. I've got some really good ones. I'll tell you, that one about Euchre getting hepatitis, that might be my all-time favorite. Yeah, I made a major contribution. I wasn't that good of a ball player. I got hepatitis, so make sure they didn't put me in. Here's one by a pretty good player with the Orioles, late 60s, early 70s. I kind of like this guy. Not a Hall of Famer, but good, solid player. You are the Sultan of SWAT because you spent so much time on the bench. Merv Rettenman, remember him? If you're my age, about 64. You remember Merv Rettenman, played with Oh, Boog Powell, Davey Johnson, Paul Blair, Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson. Boy, what a team that was. I mean, you didn't even have to be a fan of the Orioles. You just liked watching that team. They were so fundamentally sound. So were the A's and the Reds during the early 70s. Oh, I love my childhood. I really miss it. Here's another one by a elder statesman. Baseball is the most intellectual game because most of the action goes on in your head. Who said that? He lived to about 100 years old, certainly a memorable man in American history. Henry Kissinger said that. So evidently, Kissinger, who was German, was a big baseball fan. Lived a nice life, 100 years old. We should all live to 100 as long as we're healthy. Ball's grounded foul as Florida Tech leading off here in the bottom of the seventh inning with Brett Kelly. So Kelly, Fimiano, and Sewell, 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. And the pitch is swung on and missed. And let's see, yes, Stipp is still on the mound. Boy, what a game he's pitching. Quality start. 2 runs on 5 hits he has allowed. Pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Kelly, he's 0-for-2, a fly ball to right and a ground ball to short. Again, followed by Fimiano and Sewell. Outfield straight away. And the pitch by Stipp is high. Fastball, 2-2. Yeah, remember, we'll be out here Tuesday night, a single game against Palm Beach Atlantic at 6. That'll be the final home game of the season. There's a ground ball hit to short. Saladino has to hurry. Throw to first. He beat it. He's safe. He definitely beat it. I'll tell you what, if he didn't beat it, Jeff Tam might have had a heart attack, or he would have at least challenged it. Because he was clearly across the bag. That wasn't even a tie. So infield hit Kelly. And Anthony Fimiano, who hit a solo homer back in the second to put the Panthers on the board. Let's see if Fimiano might be bunting here. Again, he's the number 7 hitter. You got Austin Sewell on deck. Fimiano 1-for-2 with that solo homer. And the pickoff attempt, and the runner gets back. Fimiano does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. In fact, Florida Tech only has 8 for the year. I'm kind of surprised by that. There's a high pop-up left side. That's Carstetter, foul territory, makes the catch. That's a big out for Stipp. 1 away. So Kelly holds it first. Here's Austin Sewell, the Panther right fielder. He's 0-for-2. Fly ball to right in the second. Struck out swinging in the fourth. And here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. Well, they put that in the Gatorade tent. I'm thankful I could actually get a little bit of a peek at the Tampa bullpen. I think there's something going on out there. Again, not a clear view. The pitch is low for a ball. Good block there. Good block there by the catcher. Santiago Garavito. I tell you, he could have been an explorer. He really could have with a name like that. You know, Ponce de Leon, a few others. 2-ball count. Pitch is high for a ball. Does anybody remember Vasco da Gama? I don't think too many people do. They remember Christopher Columbus. Do they remember Magellan? Maybe. You gotta dig it up, though. What did Magellan do? I'd have to look that one up. But Santiago Garavito, what a name. The pitch is outside, and Sewell, a 4-pitch walk, and that'll move Kelly up to second base. So things getting a little bit interesting for Florida Tech. Runners on first and second, and 1 out, and here's Connor Wiggins, the Panther shortstop, 1-for-2 with a run scored. So that is the 3rd walk allowed by Stipp. He has struck out 2. He has walked 3. He's given up 2 runs on 6 hits. Both teams have 2 runs on 6 hits. Serves Wiggins again. He's 1 for 2. He was 0 for 4 in the first game. In fact, he was 0 for 3 last night. So he has just the 1 hit in the series, and that's in this game where he's 1 for 2. And Joe Urso is not messing around. This looks like a pitching change. But I'll tell you, he's got to be happy with Stipp. I mean, Stipp, a quality start, but he cannot get the win. But he could get the loss here if Florida Tech scores. So keep that in mind. So again, Stipp allows 2 runs on 6 hits. Strikes out 2, walks 3, but again, the book is not closed on him because they're inherited runners. And let's see who came in. Another left-hander. 35, okay. So coming in, Ryan Stefuk. Fastball, curveball, changeup. 6'4", 225. So he's got a pretty good presence. 6'4", 225 senior out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Boy, I wonder if he's a Packer fan. I bet he is. Transfer from Vanderbilt as well. Stefuk is the pronunciation. Ryan Stefuk. Let's see what Mr. Stefuk has done this year. Not too bad. 2-0, 2.01 ERA. That's nice. 13th appearance, 1 save. Just 12 hits allowed in 22 and 1/3 innings. That is really very nice. 6 runs allowed in 22 1/3. 5 of the 6 earned. He's walked 10, struck out 21, so 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. 2 home runs allowed in 22 and 1/3 innings. That might be a little bit high, but opponent's batting average is 162. That is really good. So for Stefuk, a pretty good season. And let's see, I got Stefuk's last appearance. How about that? I just happened to luck into it. April 12th against Rollins. That was a 14-5 win by Tampa over Rollins. Stefuk did not figure in the decision as the man he just replaced, Stipp, actually got the win in that game, and Alfonso got the save. Stefuk threw 30 pitches, 15 strikes, 1 2/3 innings. Gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits. He walked 2, struck out 1. Now, he did give up a home run in the game as he faced 9 batters. But again, you can give up a few home runs if your team scores 14, and that's what Tampa did in that game, a 14-5 win as they swept Rollins. So again, Stefuk's first batter will be Connor Wiggins. Again, Florida Tech left 11 in the first game. They don't want to leave too many in this game. They have a chance to win this. I mean, they really do. Got to capitalize. First and second, 1 out. The pitch is in for a called strike. And it's 0-1. And all the Panther fans are getting frustrated with the umpiring. Again, Casey Sanchez behind home plate. The grumbling continues. Strike 1 pitch coming up. Pitch is outside for a ball. So again, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Stefuk. First name Ryan. Outfield straight away. Again, Kelly on second. Sewell on first, getting a big lead, not being held on. Check the runner at second. The 1-1 is swung on and missed. And it's 1-2. I'll tell you, Stefuk allowed the pitch clock to get down to 3 seconds, but he got it off. So Stefuk in for the signs from Garavito. It'll be a 1-2. Gets it off with 3. Inside on that breaking ball, and it's 2-2. So again, outfield straight away and about normal depth. Middle of the infield back deep, hoping for a ground ball and a inning-ending double play. Check the runner at second, Stefuk. The 2-2 is inside, and it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Is Jeff Tam going to roll the dice and send the runners? Let's see. I mean, let's see what he decides. 3-2. Oh, the runners hold. That one is hit the short, could be two. They go to second for one, on to first, double play. Oh, that is a killer. That is a pitcher's best friend and an offensive team's worst enemy. 6-4-3. I mean, Wiggins hit it pretty hard, but it was a beautiful off for Saladino, who went to Woodburn and then to Urso. 6-4-3, and the inning is over. So that's the second 6-4-3 double play that Tampa's executed. They also had a 4-6-3, so it's their third of the game. And for Florida Tech, it really couldn't have come at a worse time. So Florida Tech does not score. No runs, one hit, a walk, and two men left on base. So we played 7 innings here in Andy Sebenik Les Hall Field at the campus of Florida Tech. We're tied at 2. We'll pause and be back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. All right, welcome back. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and by the end of this inning, no matter how it ends, we will be at least 2 hours into this one. As we start at 4:45 Eastern Time, we're approaching 6:45 Eastern Time. Well, the good news is on the West Coast, it's only 3:45, so that day still a little bit longer. All right, for Noah Steckley, a challenge here, top of the batting order. Williams, Saladino, and Urso tied at 2 in the top of the 8th. Williams is 2 for 2, a walk, a run scored, and 2 steals. The changeup misses outside for a ball, and it's ball 1. So again, Williams has gotten his fair share of steals, but again, in the series, just 3 hits. Did not get a hit in the first game today. Did go 1 for 5 last night, but in this game, 2 for 2 and a walk. The pitch is a changeup missing low and inside, and this is not the guy to fall behind on. 2 balls and no strikes on Jordan Williams. Williams being shaded slightly toward left center by Kelly. The pitch is in for a called strike, 2-1 on Williams. So again, Williams has 60 steals for the year. I mean, you figure he could get up to 75 or 80, I think, with the games remaining. Pitch is high for a ball, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So who says the steal component of baseball has gone away? Maybe in the major leagues, okay. Not necessarily on the college level. It'll be a 3-1. It's outside. It's a 5-pitch walk, and Williams is on base. So here's Nico Saladino. He is 1 for 3, a single, and he struck out once. Saladino actually does lead the team with 6 sacrifice bunts. But my thinking is, why not just let Williams run because he's so successful? But let's see if Saladino squares around the bunt here. Again, Williams getting a huge lead. Figueroa holding him on, pickoff attempt, and he gets back. Again, he did get picked off last night by Pino, but otherwise he's been pretty good on the bases. Boy, he is not hesitant about getting a huge lead. Oh, there's a balk. I had my head down for a minute. I didn't exactly see what Steckley did. Jeff Tam is vociferously contesting the call from the dugout. I don't know if Jeff Tam is convinced by the Casey Sanchez home plate umpire explanation. So runner on second. So you don't have to worry about Williams stealing second. He got balked to second. He'll try and steal third, though. He's done that a couple of times already in this series. Steckley, check of the runner. The pitch, showing bunt, drawing the bat back, not offering. Ball 1 on Saladino. So Saladino might still try and bunt him to third. And I'll tell you, you'd have a good chance here. I like it when the pitcher can cover the third base side of the diamond and the third baseman could lay back for a possible play at third. So the pitch in for a called strike. I really don't like the wheel play where the third baseman charges and then the shortstop tries to cover third. Well, that's not going to happen because Wiggins is pretty close to second base. He can't possibly get to third. He couldn't win a foot race with Williams. So Saladino might be able to get off a bunt here. Steckley does not throw to second. He kind of turns and doesn't throw. It's a tough play to defense no matter how much you slice it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saladino. Boy, Steckley and Williams are having a staring contest. That ball's fouled off and out of play. I think Steckley is staring at Williams, and Williams is staring right back at him. Hey, what do you think? What do you got, big guy? And you are a big guy. You're 6'6". But what do you got? All right, 1-2 the count. I'll tell you, Williams he's an exciting player. Hasn't had the greatest of series, but he's exciting to watch on the base paths. Now they're staring a little bit again. The 1-2 is in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the game within the game, as Bob Costas has talked about many times. I like that part of the game. I think it's fascinating. Really is a lot of mental parts of this great game of ours. 2-2. Steckley checking the runner. Checks him twice. And the pitch is fouled off left side. So good battle here between Steckley and Saladino. So Saladino is retiring the bunt because it's a 2-2 count. Well, again, Saladino, all he has to do is really hit it out to the outfield, and chances are Williams will score because, again, he is so fast. So another 2-2 pitch. The pitch outside, and it's 3-2. Again, things don't get any easier. J.D. Urso is on deck. Now, J.D. is 0 for 3 in this game, but that doesn't mean he's not dangerous. Here comes the 3-2. There's a ground ball to second. That'll get the runner to the third. Blackstone to first in time, so productive ground out by Saladino, and Williams now standing on third base. And now a fly ball should get Williams home if it's hit deep enough. And again, with Williams' speed, I don't think you have to hit it very deep. So here's Urso, struck out swinging, ground ball third, and he hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Panthers are going to bring the entire infield in. I think that's the right choice, and actually, we got an intentional walk to Urso. So the wheels are turning in both dugouts, Joe Urso and Jeff Tam. Talk about the mental game. Managers really have to deal with that part of it. Here's Brandon Woodburn, the second baseman. He is 0 for 3. So it sets up the possible double play possibility. Unless it's a tailor-made double play ball, you might try and come home, but the middle of the infield is back, so that might not be possible. Again, Woodburn 0 for 3. On third, Williams. On first, Urso. Urso is being held on by Figueroa. Urso getting a pretty good lead. And the pitch is fouled straight back, strike 1. Again, I think if there were 2 outs, maybe Tampa would try and pull the play where you send the runner, he gets in a rundown, and you try and get the runner home from third. I don't know if you want to do that with 1 out, but with 2 outs, I think it's a nice strategy to think about. But Urso not running on that play. Let's see what happens here. It could be totally different. Strike 1 the count on Woodburn. Steckley pausing. The 0-1 pitch. It's a ground ball. That's foul. Down the left field line. That looked like it went to the right of the bag. I don't know. I'm not at the greatest angle, but I guess it was a foul ball. Strike 1 the count. Well, again, I'll be 64 in about a month, so my eyes are not as good as they used to be. So Steckley checking his glove. Well, they've reset the clock, but they're not running the clock. What is going on? Is the clock person asleep? Is the end of the world coming because the clock's not working? Oh, there it's running. A little bit late. Better late than early. Steckley, a long pause. The pitch is a ground ball third. Will they come home? Yes, they will. They got him in a rundown. 5-2. Oh, they missed him, I think. Oh, he's out. He's out of the baseline. That happened right in front of Joe Urso, and I don't think Urso's going to have much of an argument because he's an honest guy, and it looked like he did run out of the baseline. So that is a 5-2 as Fabiano eventually he did miss him, I guess, but he went out of the baseline too far. So Woodburn hits him to a 5-2 fielder's choice, and out between third and home is Williams. To second goes Urso, and on at first to the 5-2 FC is Woodburn, and here's Edgardo Villegas, who is 0 for 3. Well, Steckley really has a good chance now to get out of the inning. First and second at 2 outs. Again, we're tied at 2 in the 8th. Steckley checking the runner at second. And the pitch is in for a called strike. I'll tell you, I like the way Steckley does this. He kind of takes his time, and he can with the 20-second pitch clock. He's kind of checking out his glove, checking out probably his wristband. He's a tall guy, taking his time. He's at the set, and with about 6 seconds to go, we'll get the pitch off. Here comes the strike one pitch. Actually, he's down to 2 seconds. The pitch just a bit outside, and it's 1-1. Oh, the lights have come on. The sun is starting to go into a slow set. Still plenty of sunshine out there. We're at 6:51 Eastern time. So the lights are on and getting a little bit brighter out here. It'll be a 1-1 by Steckley to Villegas. There's a ground ball, high hopper. Blackstone to first, in time, and the side is retired. And Steckley is fired up as he walks back to the dugout. Good job by Mr. Steckley. Gets out of it against this great Tampa team. I'll tell you, this game is a lot better than the first one. The first one ended up 9-2, not much drama. This one is going to go down to the wire, and Florida Tech hopes they have one more run than Tampa at the end. So Tampa does not score in their half of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, fielder's choice, couple of walks, one of them intentional, and a couple of runners left on base. So we have played 7.5 innings here at Andy Semenuk Hall Field on the campus of Florida Tech. It is Tampa 2 and Florida Tech 2. All right, let's go back to the baseball quotes. I'm going to go back to some of the older ones. Here's a good one by one of the greatest second basemen of all time. And this guy played about 100 years ago. Well, I'll tell you, time flies. People ask me what I do in winter when there's no baseball. Well, I'll tell you what I do. I stare out the window and I wait for spring. Rogers Hornsby played with the Cardinals about 100 years ago. Wish I would have been around to see him play. Otherwise, well, if I was, I'd be 100 years old right now. Here's another one. Baseball's almost the only baseball is almost the only orderly thing in a very unorderly world. What's that 10 times fast? If you get 3 strikes, even the best lawyer in the world cannot get you off. That was Bill Veeck, the colorful owner of the White Sox in the 70s. Used to have the showers out in right field for the fans who would be getting hot in a day game in July. Oh, here's another one by Rogers Hornsby. Man, he had a lot of quotes. I don't want to play golf. When I hit a ball, I want someone else to go chase it. Rogers Hornsby does it again. All right, that'll do it. Get some more going for the top of the 9th inning. Now, I would be very happy if Florida Tech could get a run here, shut down Tampa in the 9th, and then we can all go home and probably watch some NBA basketball. Got the NBA playoffs underway. I'd like to check some of that out. And the hockey playoffs actually start tomorrow. Boy, this is a great weekend to be a sports fan. Got a lot of stuff going on. Pitch in for a called strike, leading off for the Panthers. Good part of the lineup, top of the batting order, Garrett, Blackstone, Figueroa. Garrett, 2 singles and reached on an error. Florida Tech, if there's ever a time to score, do it at the top of the batting order. Let's see what happens here. The pitch is a ground ball to short. Throw to first by Saladino is in time, 1 away. So 1 up, 1 down. Jason Blackstone, the batter. Jason is 0 for 2 and a sacrifice. He did put down a nice sacrifice bunt, moving 2 runners up, 5-3 back in the 3rd inning. Again, it's been a disappointing season for Jason. Pitch outside for a ball. Again, one of 17 seniors honored before the pregame in the pregame of game number 1. So again, Jeff Tam, he's gonna have to reload for next year. Boy, losing 17 players. I mean, they're going, gone. You got that portal though. You can always tap into that portal, find somebody, pitch in for a called strike, and it's 1-1. I'm not sure about the NIL money at Florida Tech, but the portal is open. So those two things are kind of related and kind of separate. The pitch is in for a ball. I mean, some players do transfer. They just want a new setting, and they don't care so much about the money. And then others, it's like Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. Just show me the money. Where do I want to go? Who's going to bid for me? 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a pop-up into left center field. Is going to fall in for a base hit. Beautiful spot by Blackstone. Got it out over the shortstop in front of the left fielder. Perfectly placed. And the go-ahead run is on to first base with 1 out. That'll bring up the first baseman, Pedro Figueroa. Again, it's not so much how hard you hit it or how far you hit it. It's where you place it. And Blackstone put it in a nice spot. Here's Figueroa. He's walked twice. One of those times was intentionally. So the go-ahead run is on at first here in the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 2. Roman Sampson on deck. Again, Blackstone on base. He's got good speed. Let's see, does Coach Tam try and send him? Not here. The pitch is swung on and missed. And it's strike 1 on Figueroa. Well, again, Blackstone has not really played a lot this year. Just 69 at-bats coming into play today. 9 for 10, though, on steals. So he's been very efficient. Strike 1 pitch coming up. Just a bit outside. So 1 ball and 1 strike. One and one. There's a pop-up foul over to the right. And Figueroa behind in the count. No ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Ryan Stefuk is the pitcher in relief of Stipp. 1-2 the count. And the sun is pretty much retired. The light's starting to take some full effect here. 1-2 pitch is reached for by Figueroa. Bloops it out to the outfield. But this is going to stay in the air for the center fielder. Making the catch is King. And back to first goes Blackstone, 2 away. And that'll bring up Roman Sampson, the Panther left fielder. Well, again, I don't want to call Roman Sampson the Roy Hobbs of Florida Tech, but again, he's had a couple of really pretty dramatic moments, and this could be another one if he can send a double into the gap or hit a home run. I mean, a base hit would do nicely, too. Blackstone leading off first. The pitch is swung on and missed. Big roundhouse swing, and it's strike 1. So at the stretch is Stefuk. Strike 1 pitch is low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Just a bit outside, and it's 2-1. A good hit and run count here if Jeff Tam is thinking that way. Again, Blackstone, good speed on first, being held on by Urso. Again, 2 outs in the inning. Sampson awaits the 2-1. There's a ground ball in the hole to short. Long throw to first, in the dirt, and it gets by the first baseman. To third goes Blackstone. The inning is still alive. So let's see how we score that one. Got to think about that one a little bit, huh? Mr. Lucas over there. Well, we'll find out here in a minute, but Sampson beats it out. E6, you think? Okay. Well, we'll go with the E6. Sampson would probably rather get the hit, but hey, he's on first base, and that's all that counts. And the Panthers have runners on first and third with 2 outs for Jacob Guthrie, the designated hitter. The pitch is in for a ball. Oh, how Jeff Tam and how all these Panther fans on Senior Day would love to see Guthrie do something here, get it to the outfield and give the Panthers the lead, and then try and get 3 outs against the number 1 team in the country, the Tampa Spartans. Easier said than done, though. The 1-0 pitch is in for a called strike, and it's a 1-1. Oh, the Panther crowd is again aghast at the call. Barking out. No! You got to be kidding me. The 1-1 is in for a ball. That could have been a strike, I think. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, to be a home plate umpire on any level. I really wouldn't want the job. I wouldn't mind working the bases. Home plate umpire, it just gets so tiring. It really does. The 2-1 coming up. And the pitch in for a called strike. And it's 2-2. And again, Pantherland is up in arms. It's 2-2. Now, again, if you're Stefuk here, you don't want to go to 3-2 because it'd be an automatic start for the runner at first base. So he has to come in here. The 2-2 is outside 3-2. Oh, he's going to try. Okay, it's going to be a steal. Well, Sampson was going to try and get a rundown to try and get the runner in from third, and Tampa didn't fall for it. They said, okay, go steal second. We'll just try and get the out here. So I think that was a good job by Tampa not to fall for the stolen base trick. So Sampson has a steal. So second and third, 2 outs. The 3-2 is coming. There's a soft liner to short and taken by Saladino. Didn't even have to move, and the side is retired. So Florida Tech not able to score in their half of the 8th inning. So no runs, 1 hit, an error, and 2 left. We've played 8. This one is going down to the wire, folks. We are tied at 2. We'll pause and be back. This is Panther Baseball at FloridaTechSports.com. All right, we go to the top of the 9th inning. We are tied at 2 in the second game of the Sunshine State Conference doubleheader. Again, if you're just tuning in, Tampa won the first game 9-2. They won the series opener last night 8-4. Noah Steckley out for another inning. Again, it's his game right now to win or to lose. In fact, it's turned over the bullpen. Stefuk should be now the pitcher of decision for Tampa. Little Elton John playing here at the ballpark. I like it. Can't think of a bad Elton John song, really. You know, Elton John is still standing, but he's not performing anymore. He's not in the greatest of health. I don't know if it's anything like life-threatening, but he just can't perform anymore. But he is still standing. All right, we go to the top of the 9th inning. Mike Valdez will lead off. It'll be 6, 7, 8 in the batting order. Valdez, Carstetter, and Garavino against Steckley, who, again, does not have a natural windup. He works from the stretch. And the pitch is inside for a ball. It is ball one. Valdez is 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 5th. Also struck out swinging in the 7th. In fact, he was Steckley's second batter. Steckley entered a little bit earlier in the 7th inning. And the pitch is very high near the head of Valdez, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So Steckley trying to get it together, does not want to get a leadoff walk. So Steckley with the pitch. And this one is lined to left. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Dive for, not able to get it. Valdez will have a double. So a valiant dive out there by Sampson. But couldn't get to it. And it might have been a double anyway because it was hit pretty, about 25 feet, say, from the left field line. I mean, Valdez might have beaten it anyway. But Sampson did get up quickly and got it back in. So opening double here in the top of the 9th inning by Valdez, and here's Kevin Carstetter, the third baseman, unless we got a pinch runner. We don't have a pinch hitter. Let's see, who is that? 25 is going out to pinch run for Valdez, and 25 is A.J. Graham, who actually pinch ran last night. He's out of Tampa, a freshman. Well, if you're Joe Urso, do you like bunting to third with nobody out? I'd prefer just swinging away here, but again, the bunt to third would be good because it's hard to defense that play. Steckley checking the runner at second. And scoring around the bunt, but bunting it foul is Carstetter. Bunted that one late. Bunted back behind home plate. Strike one on Carstetter. Now, Tampa's got 18 sacrifice bunts this year. Carstetter does not have any. So this is kind of new for him. Strike one pitch by Steckley. It's hit to Steckley, catches it, and no throw to second. Not getting far enough off was Valdez, so Steckley just held on to it. I guess I'd call that kind of a soft line drive, but at the same time, it kind of got to Steckley early or quickly. And he made the play, got his glove up and made it. So one away. And here is Santiago Garavito, the great explorer for the Spartans. He is 2 for 3, 2 singles. Also has a stolen base. Middle of the infield back at normal depth. Runner on second, 1 out. Top of the 9th, tied at 2. The pitch is swung on and missed. Well, I'll tell you, no matter who wins this game, this has been a great game to call. I'll be a little bit happier, of course, if Florida Tech wins, but it's a good one. Pretty well played, although Tampa actually has 3 errors. I guess they are human. Down to 4 seconds on the pitch clock. Is Steckley going to get this off? Yes, he will. The pitch in for a called strike, and it's 0-2. And Garavito having, I guess, a diplomatic discussion with Casey Sanchez, not exactly agreeing with that call, and it's 2 strikes. A little bit of a wind around us, not really with Old Glory in center field, though. 2-strike pitch coming up by Steckley. And it's high and tight, 1-2. Again, Steckley, fastball, curveball, and changeup. I'll tell you, his fastball is a good one. It gets in there really quick. 1-2. The pitch is a pop-up, but it's straight back and well out of play. The count will hold 1-2 on Santiago Garavito, who again is out of Plantation down near Fort Lauderdale. Again, American Heritage High School. Again, I'm assuming the one in Plantation, not in Delray Beach. That'll be a little bit of a trip up 95. 1-2 the count. So Garavito will dig back in. Again on second. Valdez with 1 out. Blackstone trying to stay close to the bag, but I tell you, the entire right side is open for Garavito if he wants to go the other way. It'll be a 1-2. There's a pop-up, but it's foul, and it's out of play again. 1-2 on Garavito. Maddox King is on deck. This is the bottom part of the Tampa batting order. Garavito number 8, and King on deck is number 9. That doesn't mean it's easy, though. Just telling you what it is. So another 1-2 pitch by Steckley to Garavito. Taking his time. Still 7 seconds on the clock. Changeup, a beauty. In for a call, strike 3, and Garvito is very upset. He can't believe it. So that is out number 2. Third strikeout for Steckley. 8th time that Tampa's gone down on strikes. Let's see what we got. We got Alex Carpenter coming out to the mound. I think we could have a pinch hitter. 19. Oh, that's Jordan Williams. Okay. Maddox King is scheduled. So Williams is not the next batter. It's supposed to be King. Oh, we got 73. 73. Wow. 73 made the team. Lenny Ashby. Looks like Lenny Ashby is going to come up. Well, I'll tell you, if you're 73, you usually don't make the team, especially in spring training. But Ashby is going to come up here, it looks like. Alex Carpenter's taking his time, and Casey Sanchez going to make the slow walk to the mound. Again, Graham's the pinch runner. He took a break. He's going back to second base. Okay, I guess, mound visits are counted in NCAA Division II. Not disengagements, though. So it's 73 pinch hitting. So this is Lenny Ashby. Oh, he's the player that's out of Aruba. He can make Aruba very happy here with a base hit. 5'7", 215, a senior. So he is a left-handed batter. Ashby batting .247. He's 21 for 85, 4 doubles. Also, 2 home runs. So he's not an easy out. Steckley at the stretch. So the pinch hitter Ashby up at the plate. The pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 1 on Lenny Ashby, who again is pinch hitting for King. So interesting move here by Joe Urso. King was, he was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. So again, Joe Urso, he's been a genius most of his life. Everything that happens with him turns to gold. 1 second on the clock. Get it off. Second. Oh, no. It's a pitch violation. Boy, I wanted to go the whole weekend without one of those, and here we are late on this Saturday. And it is a pitch violation. I don't think it's the end of the world, though. They haven't showed it the scoreboard yet, but that should be a ball. There it is, 1-1. Okay, put it on the board. 1-1. 8 seconds of the clock. He gets it off, and it's low for a ball. It's 2-1. Well, I'll tell you, I hope in the World Series this year that a game does not end on a pitch violation. I am really hoping that doesn't happen. They should just waive it for the postseason, because that would really be awful. I don't care what team you root for. The 2-1 pitch is low for a ball, gets by Fabiano into third. Goes the pitch runner Graham, so he is now 90 feet away with 2 outs. It's going to be a 3-1 count on Ashby, and boy, if you're Steckley, you want to bear down here because Jordan Williams is on deck. I think you'd rather try and get Ashby out here. So Ashby with the advantage, a 3-ball and 1 strike count. Middle of the infield is back. Outfield is fairly deep and around the left. It'll be a 3-1 by Steckley. And it's in for a called strike. Change up. And it's 3-1. 3-2 rather. I'll tell you, this is prime time on a Saturday evening, 7:13. Big moment in this game. Is Tampa going to take the lead, or is Florida Tech going to have it tied in the bottom of the ninth? We'll find out here. A 3-2 pitch is lined to left, base hit, and Tampa has the lead. That's the way it goes. Ashby, a pitch hit single. Sampson throws it back in, and it is 3-2 Tampa. So it came down to a 3-2 count, and Ashby wins the battle. So he's on first base, scoring the pinch runner, Graham. Tampa up 3-2. I mean, Florida Tech still has a chance, bottom of the ninth. But more importantly for the Panthers now, not thinking about that, just thinking about let's get out of this inning, just down by 1. And now you allow the top of the batting order to come up, and Jordan Williams, who in this game is 2 for 2 with 2 walks, a run scored, and 2 steals. The pitch is fouled off and out of play. I mean, you just don't want to keep extending the inning with all these batters coming up. Saladino on deck and Urso, and hopefully Florida Tech doesn't get that far. Now you just got to deal with Williams, try and get him out and get to the dugout. Panthers are going to have 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order scheduled. Kelly, Fimiano, and Sewell. It'll be a strike one pitch by Steckley. And it's outside for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Tampa, 3 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. Florida Tech, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. So Tampa outscoring the Panthers by 1 and out hitting them by 1. Steckley at the set. This will be a 1-1 to Williams. It's low and outside, and it's 2-1. Right now we're at exactly 2.5 hours. Not too bad for the 9th inning. If we go to extra innings, we'll get closer to 3. And who knows, that could happen. The 2-1 pitch by Steckley to Williams. Fly ball, deep right field. Will it stay in the park? It will be up against the wall. It's in play. It's going to be a triple for Williams and an RBI that missed a home run by inches. It missed it by inches. Again, going back in the ball was Sewell, who has played right field before, but not a lot this year. He tried to get to it, but couldn't. And again, that ball just missed going out of the park. So Williams settles for an RBI triple. It's a 2-run top of the 9th. And here comes Alex Carpenter. That might be it for Steckley, which is, it's too bad. I mean, he was doing well until the 9th and ran into some trouble. Well, again, this is what Tampa does to you. I mean, they do it to everybody in the Sunshine State Conference. They don't do it all the time, but they do it enough to drive you crazy. They just find a way to win, and this game isn't over yet, but it's really frustrating for the opposition. You're playing a pretty good game. You've made 2 less errors, and you're right there, and then Tampa just comes up with something big. That's just the way they work. All right, Rich Scarbeck's going to come into the game to try and keep this at a 2-run deficit. So Scarbeck, the good news is he's 3-0. The bad news is 6.6 ERA, but again, ERAs tend to be overrated with relief pitchers. This is his 12th appearance. He's allowed 14 hits in 15 innings. That's not too bad. He's allowed 14 runs, 11 runs earned. He's walked 11, struck out 15. He's allowed 1 homer in 15 innings of work, and opponents are batting .241 against him. Steckley, a right-hander, 5'8", 190, senior, local product, Indy Atlantic and Melbourne High. So, again, it's 4-2 Tampa as we're still in the top of the 9th inning. Tampa continues to threaten. Going to check on Scarbeck's last appearance if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Sometimes I look into things. So, Florida Tech beat Eckert in one of their games last week, 16-10. And Scarbeck was actually the winning pitcher in relief of Lenson. Pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 1 run. It was earned on 4 hits, didn't walk anybody. Struck out 4 and threw 46 pitches. Again, Florida Tech won that game 16-10. I guess they missed one of the extra points, but winning it over the Tritons. So Scarbeck finishing up his warm-up pitches. And Nico Saladino will be the batter. So again, RBI triple by Williams. He's standing on third, driving in Ashby. So again, Ashby had a pinch hit single earlier in the inning and eventually comes around to score. Good inning for him. So here's Saladino. He is 1 for 4, singled in the 6th. So not an impossible spot for Scarbeck. There's a runner on third, but there's 2 outs. The pitch is the bunt. Can they come home? No, they can't, but they can throw to first for the out. So it's a good thing they got the out at first. Otherwise, Tampa would add another run, and the side is retired. Not a bad bunt by Saladino, and pretty close at first, but they got him by a couple steps, and the inning is over. So Scarbeck throws one pitch and gets out of it. But Tampa takes the lead in the top of the 9th inning as they send 6 batters to the plate. They score 2. They do so on 3 hits. Again, the big hit in the inning, RBI triple by Williams. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Andy Semenuk Hall Field at the campus of Florida Tech. It is Tampa 4 and Florida Tech 2. All right, going to get in some more quotes here. Again, Tuesday night will be my final opportunity. That'll be the final home game of the year when Florida Tech will take on Palm Beach Atlantic at 6 o'clock Tuesday. So, again, Sunshine State Conference home series season over today, but one more home game on Tuesday. Here's a good one. The pitcher has to find out if the hitter is timid. And if the hitter is timid, he has to remind the hitter that he's timid. I'll tell you, this guy, he was intimidating. Don Drysdale, he died way too young. You know what? I gotta tell that story. So I'm out in California. I'm watching the Dodgers and the Expos. Yeah, the Expos existed at one time. I mean, this is back in the 90s. I can't remember the years. We looks like we have a new first baseman for Tampa. But Vince Scully, the elegant one, the famous one, the legendary one, Vince Scully comes on the air, and he has to tell the Dodger audience, you know, that Don Drysdale did not show up, and he died in his hotel room. I think it was a heart attack, if I remember right. I'll tell you, who would you want to have tell you that somebody died other than Vince Scully? I think he'd be my number one choice. I really do. Not Howard Cosell. So that's my memory of Don Drysdale, just the fact that he died about 30 years ago, more or less. And I'll tell you, he intimidated hitters. You know, you didn't charge the mound on Don Drysdale. He was a presence. All right, Brett Kelly leading off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Florida Tech down 4-2. The pitch to Kelly is in for a ball, and it's ball 1. So again, it's Kelly, Fabiano, and Sewell. Keep in mind Fabiano as a solo homer. Boy, Kelly would love to get on here and maybe have Fabiano try and hit another homer. The pitch is in for a called strike. Now, that would be memorable because Fabiano's solo homer was the first that he's hit in a Panther uniform. Boy, can you imagine if he hit 2? We're a long ways from that. Kelly has to get on. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is outside for a ball. So 2-1 the count. And the pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 2-2. Is that 55 pitching? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay, so, yeah. Ball's fouled off. And okay, that is 35. Steph Uke's still on the mound. I think we got a new first baseman. Okay, boy, I love picking up changes in baseball. All right, Cole Russo, who played first base the first couple of games, is playing defensively at first base for Urso. Pitch on the way is a ball high, and it's 3-2. Now, did Urso move to third or? All right, so J.D. Urso has moved back, I think, to his more comfortable position of third base. And Russo, very good at first base, has come into play. The pitch is lifted out in the right center field, but it looks like the center fielder will get there. That's Williams. He makes the catch. Or now King, I'm sorry. Or no, wait a minute. Who's playing center field? Williams is? Okay, jeez. All right, Williams was playing left field. He was moved to center because King came out of the game for the pinch hitter. So much to keep up with out here, and so little time to do it. So Kelly flies out to Williams, who's now playing center, 1 away, and Florida Tech down to their final 2 outs. Anthony Fabiano will try and get on base, and looks like Austin Sewell's being called back, and Guzman's coming on deck to pinch hit. Pitch is in for a ball. So Carlos Guzman, no matter what, Fabiano does, will be pinch hitting for Sewell. He'd love to pinch hit for him with a runner on base. The ball one pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 1-1 on Fabiano, who again leads the team in doubles with 12. He'd love to hit a double here. But again, solo homer for his first Panther homer back in the second inning. The pitch is outside, and it's 2-1. So again, the wheels are turning for both coaches. All the changes that Joe Urso made defensively, and now Guzman, the pinch hit, he's on deck. The 2-1 pitch is lifted out to center field. Williams goes back. He makes the catch. He goes diving. Little theatrics, but maybe he had a dive for it. He makes the catch. Boy, Fabiano hit that hard. I thought that was going to be his 13th double of the year, but not to be. He flies out to deep center field, hit it one of the deepest parts of the park. I'll tell you, Joe Urso, he strikes again. He moves Williams to center field, and Williams makes the first two putouts of the inning. The first one was easy. That one was a little harder, but he made the play, and Carlos Guzman pinch hitting for Sewell, representing the last Panther hope. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the ninth. The pitch is low for a ball. Ball one. Connor Wiggins will bat for himself. He's on deck if he gets up. And the pitch is high for a ball, 2-0. So looks like Guzman is being a little bit selective. He's going to force Stefuk here to throw a strike. I'd take another one. The pitch is in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Now you got to be swinging. If it's in your wheelhouse, as Larry Walkers used to say back in the day, take a whack at it. The 2-1 pitch is inside for a ball. I mean, they really did interview Larry Walker one time and said, "Hey, Larry, what's your strategy in hitting?" And he said, "Oh, I just look at the pitch and take a whack at it." I don't know if Larry Walker would be a hitting coach. 3-1 pitch coming up. And high ball 4. Good at bat by Guzman. That is a good walk. And now the tying run comes to the plate in Connor Wiggins. Wiggins has 1 home run of the year, 22 RBIs, coming in today batting .301. No, pinch hitter. It is Akil Namala. So Namala is going to pinch hit here for Wiggins. Now Namala's got 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. So he's got 11 hits for the year, and 2 of them are home runs. Oh, home run here would be dramatic. That would be Roy Hobbs of the natural. The pitch is outside, ball 1. Now, a home run would only tie it, but you got to tie it before you can win it. 1 ball, no strikes on Namala. Runner goes, and it's fouled off. And that's Jaden Hill pinch running at first for Guzman. That's a good move. Hill can fly with the best of them. And he flew on that play, but evidently the hit and run was on. Namala fouls it off, and Hill back to first base. So Tampa needs 1 more out. Florida Tech needs a couple more hits to make this interesting. It'll be a 1-1 by Stefuk. Runner goes again. Swung on and missed, and Tampa doesn't care. That run is not important. It's the guy at the plate. Don't throw it down, risk an error. So, again, it'll be nice if Hill could score, if Namala gets a base hit here, but that'll only make it 4-3. Can Namala maybe get an extra base hit, put himself in scoring position? But he's down the count 1-2, and the pitch is, very close. But ball 2, 2-2. That could have been the dagger. All right, 2-2 the count. Gabe Guerin on deck, hoping to get a chance. So the 2-2 to Namala is swung on and missed. The foul tip is held onto. The ball game is over. And Tampa does what Tampa does. They sweep another Sunshine State Conference Series. I mean, Florida Tech really did battle them to the end, but at the end, Tampa always seems to find a way to win. It's very frustrating to play this team. They are the defending national champions. They've won 9 national championships in their history. And Joe Urso does it to Florida Tech again. Good thing he's a nice guy. He's an easy guy to root for. He really is. And he is well-mannered, and it's really hard to root against him, I'm being honest. All right, final totals. Let me write them down before they are taken off the board. So Tampa manages a 4-2 win, 4 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. For Florida Tech, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. And it was a bullpen game, so Stefuk should get the win. And Stefuk improves to 2-1. And Steckley, I mean, he pitched well in parts, but Steckley is going to get the loss. He is 4-3. All right, we'll do a quick wrap-up of this one, and then a quick turnaround for Tuesday. Florida Tech hosting Palm Beach Atlantic Tuesday at 6, and that'll be the home finale for this 2025 season. All right, Florida Tech got off to a good start in this one. Solo homer, Fimiano, 2 outs in the second. And then Roman Sampson gets an RBI on an E6, driving in Wiggins. That made it 2-0. So the Panthers got single runs in the second and third, led it 2-0. As it would turn out, that would be the only offense for the Panthers. They led 2-0 until the fifth. RBI ground out Carstetter, drove in Valdez. 2-1 Florida Tech. Tampa tied the game with a run in the sixth inning, and they, you know what, they actually tied it on a double play. 6-4-3 double play, hit in by J.D. Urso, but Jordan Williams scored. That tied it at 2, and really this one was coming down to the wire. It was 2-2 going to the top of the ninth, and then, again, Tampa just manages to come through at clutch time, doubled by Valdez, and then there were 2 outs and a runner on second, but Ashby, the pinch hitter for King, singled down the left field line. That drove in Valdez, with it proved to be the winning run. And then just to add some salt to the wound, Jordan Williams, an RBI triple driving in Ashby. And that would be enough for Tampa as they win it by the score of 4-2. So Tampa's now won. They have won 15 straight games against the Panthers over about a 5-year period. And they improved their win total in the all-time series to 133 and 34. Tampa improves to 35-6. They are so hard to beat. They have now won 11 in a row. They had a 10-in-a-row streak earlier in the year, so 2 double-digit streaks. What else can this team do? They are 19-2 in the conference. And I'll tell you what, if they get to carry North Carolina in the World Series, I don't think anybody would be shocked. Florida Tech with a tough loss. They fall to 23-22 and 1 game under the 500 mark in conference at 13-14. All right, I'm J.C. Myolds. Thanks for tuning in. The result not what we wanted if you're a Panther fan, but that's the way it goes in baseball sometimes. So we will talk to you in about 48 hours on Tuesday night, a late Tuesday night game considering we are wrapping up this season pretty soon. Florida Tech and Palm Beach Atlantic, Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. I will talk to you again. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Easter Sunday. Enjoy the Easter egg hunt. And then come back and join us